Welcome, 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 welcome. How are we? Hope we are well. Apologies for that. We had a slight technical hitch with a bit of music there. Apparently I've not turned it over onto the correct channel, but we are live. It's Saturday night. There's nothing on the telly really, let's be honest. So we figured we might as well jump on stream and try and fix Bolton Wanderers, because we obviously came here full of happiness and joy and things were looking great 2 games in, and then of course I did what I did, didn't I? And I've brought the team. We're on pretty bad form, and we need to fix it, don't we? Because we've not been here long, and already we can sort of see where this is going to go, can't we? Evening, everybody. How are you? Welcome, Raggio. Good to see you. As always, we now have a bit of music, as we say. Hope everyone is well. This is the situation, right? So we obviously jumped ship from York City, which was quite a surprise, to be honest. We were having a lovely time in York. Evening, Dan. How are you, buddy? Welcome in. We're having a lovely time in York. In League 2, did fine. Back-to-back promotions. Things were going well. Then we got the chance to go to Bolton Wanderers in the Championship. Great. Fantastic. Love it. Great idea. Look, they were having a terrible, terrible run. Hadn't won since August. We turned up here back end of November. 2 wins over the bounce, 3 wins on the bounce. Loved it. Blip to Bournemouth. Not a problem. We can deal with that. Beat Millwall. Fine. Then 5 back-to-back defeats. What the hell has gone wrong here? Genuinely, what has gone wrong in that time? We're all scratching our heads a little bit, thinking that there's no way we could have just dropped without even scoring a goal either. So no idea. No idea at all. Don't really understand what's happened. I mean, you're right, Raju. Yeah, the team was a little bit broken before we turned up, but even still, I mean, you know, it felt like, I mean, was this the new manager bounce? Quite possibly. I mean, 5-3 against Sunderland was huge. 2-1 against Ipswich was very good as well, because these were teams that were up and about in the playoff mix. And then Bournemouth was probably the reality check we needed, really. Millwall were down about where we were. Shrewsbury were below us. They beat us. That's the reality check right there. Barnsley hammered us. And then, yeah, Wolves, we were a bit unfortunate. We had 10 men. Norwich, they really only had 2 clear-cut chances from what I remember, and they scored them both. Can we sign Adrian Blake? Probably not. Not from Solihull Moors under 23s. No, not for the Championship. Not for the Championship. And Dominic Hutchinson, I don't think is still in the game. So no, unfortunately not. Yeah, we're probably not going to get Adrian Blake. Let's look at him properly. I have just discounted him straight away, to be honest. But as I say, he's in the under 23s for Solihull Moors. He's quick. I'll give him that. I'll give him the fact that he's quick. Yes, H2, my man, your man, everyone's man. The new voice of the FM playoffs. We've debuted him on the path to the playoffs this week. If you haven't already followed him, drop the man a follow right now, because he is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. He's just a breath of fresh air. We love having him around here. He's absolutely fantastic. As I say, he did a great job on his debut. He's also with us for Path to the Playoffs too, and spoiler alert, will probably be with us for quite a bit of FM 23 as well. So do make sure you are following him. H2, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, my man. Hope you're well. Hope the family are good as well. You take a little lurk around. You do what you need to do, man, on a Saturday evening. Sean, welcome in, buddy. Nice to see you. Hope you're well also. So this is Adrian Blake then. What can we see that we need at this point? He's relatively quick. He's got a decent first touch. He can potentially head, but he can't actually jump. So that's difficult. He's 5'9". His work rate is appalling. His long shots are terrible. Yeah, I'm not really sure this is the sort of player that we need for the club, to be honest. He's not banging goals in. 2 goals in 32 games. Yeah, I'm not sure. But you know what? I'll do you a solid. I'll do you a solid though, Alec. I'll scout him for you. See if he's any good. Because who knows where we're going to be in a couple of months' time. We might still be at Bolton. We might end up being somewhere else, to be honest. But who knows? What we do know is that we're trying to sign 2 Brazilians. Right now, it may go badly because Luciano here 18 years old, Brazilian. He's come on trial. He looks pretty good for 18, to be honest. So we put a bid in for him, and then it turned out that Arsenal were also interested, and so were Paris Saint-Germain. And I mean, to be fair, I'm even worried about Portsmouth, Hibs, and Cardiff. So he might not play for us this year. But if he goes, we might be able to get him in on loan, so that'll be interesting. And then there's Francesco Jose as well, who's another young Brazilian lad who's turned up. He's probably not as good. Really good aggression, really good bravery. Actually, a liability is what we'll probably call him. But he's also wanted by, obviously, ourselves, Villa, Brighton, Leeds, Newcastle, Norwich, Plymouth, Sheffield United, Swindon, Tottenham, Watford, West Ham, Wolves, Wickham. I mean, again, he's probably not going to sign for us. But we tried, and then Aaron Molanes, so it was just, he wanted far too much money. He was like 15 grand or something. Because he's been playing at Boca all of his life, and he doesn't really see a move to Bolton as something that would be quite good for him. Can't think why. Jack Elliott, however, we've got him on trial as well. He's 6'6". He's a centre half, a strapping centre half. Look at that jumping reach there, 18 to 20, heading 12 to 15. He is 32 years old, but we desperately need a centre half, so I'm tempted to try and bring him in anyway. He has been at Philadelphia Union all his career, so we have actually used him before in previous saves when we did, for example, It's Always Sunny at Philadelphia Union. He was there, so I'm familiar with him. He could come in and do a job straight away. Now, the reason I'm thinking he comes in, again, we don't know what his wage is going to be like. We really only have two centre halves, to be honest, in Mungo and Steve Welsh, and apparently Steve Welsh is a fullback, so that's where we're at. So Welsh is there, Mungo's there, but they're both knackered. Mungo's a fullback as well, so we're playing with makeshift centre halves, which probably explains why we're conceding goals, to be honest. Our next best centre half is a central midfielder, MJ Williams, and also Ryan Wintle, who is also a central midfielder. So centre half is something we desperately need. We've sold our right backs. We need a right back, and I'm not overly worried about goals, to be honest. I think we'll get goals in the team. We do have some forwards in there, but I think that we will actually have some. We probably could do with a midfielder as well. We said a bit of steel in there, and then also maybe a player just to do some creating. But we did actually get what we think could be that creative player, and it's this lad here, Reece Morgan. Okay, now we got him in on a free from Cardiff Met Uni, £0. He cost us nothing. Look at this, a Welsh Enganche. 16 for first touch, 16 for decision, 16 for composure, 17 for technique, jumping reach, 17, 6'3", 21 years old. He could be a bit of all right, couldn't he? He could be a bit of all right. So maybe we'll see. Weacock, who's the Welsh centre half then in real life? Is it Jack Elliott? Is this the Welsh centre half, or is it one of our other guys? Williams is possibly the centre half in real life, is he? Because if he is, then maybe we move him to the back. Oh, Stephen Welsh is a centre half in real life. Okay, cool. Oh, sorry, no. Yes, Welsh centre half in real life. Got you. That makes more sense. Yeah, we can play him centre half, which is what we're doing at the minute, and we're also obviously playing bridge there as well. Pierce goes missing a little bit, to be honest, up front from wing back. So, and Dembele is technically a midfielder who we're now playing back at wing back. So holding up here, but he can do a little bit of work back here as well. So his marking is not great and his tackling is not brilliant, but he can potentially play right back. So that's sort of where we're at a little bit at this moment in time. We are also, maybe if we moved Welsh out to right back, we could put Williams at centre back. We've got 6 days until the Coventry game. It's something to think about. Or we desperately try and get a right back in, which I think is probably preferable, really. We have changed from, this is what we were playing, 4-4-2, but in a diamond formation, which is kind of what we like. and it's been working pretty well for us. You know, in the games that we won, it was looking pretty good. Then unfortunately, it didn't quite happen. We then went to this, which we thought was a little bit more defensive. Didn't work. And then we've got this now, which I think is just a standard 4-4-2, which I think might be kind of good for us, to be honest. We've got Ray Hyam here from Everton in on loan. I think he could be a nice creative outlet. Decent bit of pace, bit of agility, can maybe put a cross in or a dribble and create something. So potentially, he's been injured for a while, so we haven't really seen what he can do. That then allows us to bring Sorba Thomas back in, who again is probably one of our better players, but he's on a hell of a wage as well. So if we can sell him and free up a bit of extra wage budget, we're kind of open to that too. We also did sell out right back because again there was that thing of we sort of need the money a little bit because we're Bolton Wanderers and that's what we do. Mark Hurst-Davison as well has come in. He's in from Rangers on loan. He's also an interesting player who I think we'll probably try and get on the pitch a little bit more as well. He has scored a goal, which is obviously really helpful, and of course we've got Reece Morgan there. We're just going to put into that position, just try and see what we can do. Gotts and Dempsey are going to do the midfield. We've got a midfielder, a central midfielder on support, and a box-to-box midfielder on support, but maybe we need more of a ball winner, I think, to be honest. Gotts, he's doing all right for us. He's doing okay, H2, but we've only had him for about a dozen games, so it'd be interesting to see what he does. He was here when we turned up, but he's down as a ball winner, so that kind of works for us a little bit. So we might move him there to a ball winner on support rather than a central midfielder. And then, like I say, we've got Kyle Dempsey there as well, who 32 years old. We've got a lot of older players in this team. We need to try and move on, but I quite like the look of Godfrey Matavo, who's come through the youth system. So we've moved him up already. 16 years old. He's already had a game for us and one in the FA Cup as well. So I think he's actually going to be someone we're going to use. So again, not scared to put him in. We just have to have a look, really. We have to start looking at some options in terms of bringing players in on the shortlist. Now, the shortlist is quite a long list, and also we are sort of struggling a little bit because in terms of finances, we're way over on our wage budget. Now, I don't know whether it's now a better idea to move all of our transfer budget out because we've got 2 million quid, so we're not going to spend that money. Do we pull it all back out and put it into wages? Evening, Otto Lindenbrock. Hope you well. Nice to see you. Do we expand the wage budget a little bit to get us some players in on loan over this sort of winter time, or do we try and see if we can get anybody in for literally free? I mean, I kind of feel as though I already know the answer, and we should be moving that wage budget around and trying to sort of get something out of it because without that, we're gonna struggle. We've lost a player already to try and to sort of have even a little bit of negotiation. There's a guy called Tobin that we're gonna look to get from Coventry. We agreed a transfer fee of about 200 grand. Couldn't get his wages. Then 2 days later, he released himself from Coventry, and now we can't get him back on again. AJ, how are you, man? Welcome in. If you've not followed AJ, by the way, guys, what were you doing the other night during the playoffs? AJ went and absolutely smashed it. Smashed the living daylights out of the path to the playoffs. He looks a very, very, very formidable competitor. So drop that man a follow because he is in the finals in a couple of weeks. So definitely keep your eyes out there. Hope you're well, man. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope everyone's good. Obviously, it's been as I say, I watched it back, man. You were flying, absolutely flying. So it was exciting to see someone new do so well. So very, very excited for that. Looking forward to the shiny card after win the main event. That's the spirit. Gotta have something to aim for, right? Otherwise, what's the point? So yeah, you came in and made some waves. So there'll be a target. There'll be a target on your matter now. But I get the impression that you're not the sort of person who shirks a bit of pressure. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we go going forward. But like I say, yeah, you were looking very good, very, very strong indeed. Great performance. So as I say, hope you had a good weekend. And we are now currently, as I say, trying to bring some players in to just boost this Bolton Wanderers squad up. And we're going to go back to a standard 4-4-2 just for the time being, while we try and address a few little issues. To be honest, already know of some guys trying to replicate the formation and tactic, try and beat it. It's always the way. Obviously, take it as a was it imitation is the best form of flattery, they say. So I've been beaten by my own tactic before as well. It's frustrating, but it's one of those, isn't it? It's one of those, you just sort of dust it down and go like, okay, cool, well done, that's great. Game cycle changes in a few weeks anyway, so it's going to be irrelevant right now. But get that under your belt. That's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what it's all about. Josh Pasks. I mean, to be honest, I would love to be looking at sort of 3 and 4 star players, but at this moment in time, we're going to kind of end up being restricted to probably 2.5 star players, just due to literally the sort of the timing that we're at with regards to being at the midpoint of the season with the January transfer window, and also the star rating, of course, is in comparison to the rest of the players in your club as well. So it's not be taken as read. Can't believe how far Bolton have dropped, says Otto. Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Although this is, to be honest, right now, this is them flying up. They're in the championship in this game right now, so they are way above where they are in real life. This looks interesting, by the way. Jason Schraha, currently at Wealdstone, £300 a week. Determination, incredibly high. Work rate, incredibly low, though. No technique. Good jumping reach, good acceleration, very good acceleration. In fact, heading's very good. First touch is very good. Could be the wing back, maybe. We're not looking for a right wing back, but let's. Do you want to come on try? We're looking for a right wing back over a left wing back. Well, maybe he's got a bit of pace about him, so let's see what he says. Jarell Kwanzaa, again 6'4", from Morton, wanted by Kilmarnock. 6'4", good decision making, decent leadership, marking, tackling, heading, jumping. 24 years old. Okay, that could be someone for us as well. Can get him on a free transfer as well next season, but we need him now. That's the problem. Need him now. So as I say, we are going to have to try and get at least one player in, I think, before the Derby game, the Coventry game. Sorry, because I don't think the players are fit enough really to get to that Coventry game and then to get ourselves through another match. And if we lose another game, I think we're going to start to get a little bit of sort of frustration creeping through the club, and we don't need that, to be honest. Sean Raggett, 6'5", 33 years old, currently at Dundee. What's Sean Raggett saying? Okay, let's have a wee little. Do you want to come in on trial? Maybe. Worst we could do is ask, right? The worst we could do is ask. Michael Ledger, again another player over at Morton. We have got a couple of players that we've looked at who look really good, but I'm not sure that we're going to have the financial package to move them over, sadly, or for people to even consider moving. I mean, look at players like at Notts County who maybe are on better money than what we can offer, which is a bit worrying. I mean, look at that. Millwall, 17 grand. We're getting nowhere near 17 grand at all. Nowhere near. And Dykesteel. Would he come on loan, do you reckon? No. No, he's not. He's not going to come on loan. Ross Sykes. Ross Sykes looks pretty alright, to be honest. Did we have Ross Sykes at Peterborough? Why does that name ring a bell? I get the feeling we had him at Posh. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we're just taking a guess. To be honest, still at lost as why Alex Neil left Sunderland. Yeah, I think everyone's a bit surprised by that, to be honest. But Tony Mowbray's coming, isn't he? And to be fair, I don't think Tony Mowbray would have been Peter's first choice when the name was mentioned. But he's obviously got experience in that division. He made Blackburn looked pretty good. He made West Brom look very good. And right now, he's making Sunderland look very good. They're doing some fantastic stuff right now. I mean, the result today, excellent. A point against Watford is very good when you consider what they had to do to get that point. Max Hunt, big 6'6". Okay, what's Max Hunt saying? 220 quid a week, no wage contribution. That's what we're talking about. Excellent. Yeah, I think to come from behind twice today to rescue a point, that's a good mentality. That's a very, very good mentality. And yeah, obviously the goal the other night, which I think the Athletic had tweeted out something along the lines like, if Barcelona score this, then it's the greatest goal of all time. But yeah, it was stunning to watch. Stunning goal. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, they've still got a good squad, I think, Sunderland, given what they've got and what they haven't got. So this year is very much a case of stay in the Championship, do not get relegated again. If anything happens, that's the issue. But I mean, it's a long season. It's easy to say now that I think they'll probably stay up, and there's always going to be that issue further down the road. Like, what happens if you lose a couple of games? Then what? I would like to think they've got enough about them to stay up. So we'll see. We'll see is where we're at, and yeah, who knows? Who knows? But at the minute, Mowbray's come in and he's done well. So he's proven that he was the right man for the job. So Helder, can we overtake his loan? Do you reckon? Don't get why Stoke, they're not a fashionable team. They're not a fashionable team, no, but I don't know, he likes these rolling contracts by all accounts. I think, from what I understand, he was on a rolling contract, which is obviously why Sunderland got him in the first place. So, man's got previous, which is fine. Let him go and do what he needs to do. He did fantastic at Sunday anyway, and I think Sunderland fans are always going to be grateful for what he did. But obviously, we're going to be a bit frustrated that he left when he did, after talking about how he had what he felt was the most together team he's ever had. So it just seemed the timing was a bit weird. But you know what? Fair enough. Off he goes. Let him go do his thing, and is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, we did. Bolby, we made a switch. It's been interesting around here. Leon King. I'm sure we had Leon King at Posh as well. So what happened? We were at York. Apologies as well for people who've already heard me tell this story before we've started off. We were at York at the start of the season. We got to League 2. Things were going well. All of a sudden, we got an offer to go to Bolton. So yeah, job in the Championship. So we figured, right, let's leave League 2 behind, because we've not got long until FM23 starts. So we're going to leave League 2 behind. We're going to jump ship all the way up into to the Championship and see what we can do with Bolton, because they deserve a bit of refresh, right? Reece Bennett seems like a player that must have played somewhere before. United and Brighton. It's a bit of experience right there, isn't it? Pastures new, exactly. Pastures new are good. 2.3 grand. Oh, Kerr Smith. There's a player, actually. 14 grand to go on loan. Oof. Will I start a new save with FM23 or carry on into this? I'll probably carry this on until FM23 kicks off. Because yeah, there seems very little point in me trying to get a new save going now. Because there's just not enough time, really, is it? There's just not enough time. Because otherwise it's like just a couple of seasons save, and no one's really interested in a couple of seasons. We've all got enough of that going on right now. So yeah, I'll see this until FM23 comes out, and then from there we have to try and work out exactly what it is we're going to do for FM23, because I think probably we're going to end up with another journeyman. I think that would be what most people around here would expect me to do, given the fact that's how we tend to play. For the beta, though, I've already said a few times, for the beta we're going to do Arsenal. Looking forward to doing Arsenal for the beta save. and because that should be good fun, learning the game that way. But then, yeah, I think for the actual game itself, I don't know. I do think it'll be a journeyman, but at the minute, I'm not committing to anything just yet. I had no problem with Charlie moving on from Charlie Wick. Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the thing. Like, I think there's been, like, you've got to remember that players leave and, you know, managers leave and all that sort of stuff. It just happens. Like, we've got a good setup at Sunderland. I think that, you know, the fans are now playing their part. That's the thing. The fans are now playing their part in a positive way, because there can be a difficult set of fans to play in front of when things aren't going well. And I just get the impression now that maybe things might start to improve, and, you know, we'll see. Like, Mowbray's come in and he's started to do a great job, so as long as he keeps doing a great job, then he's going to keep getting backed by the fans. Obviously, when things don't start going well, then people will start asking questions, and that's only natural. So I guess we just have to wait and see. It's a long season, the Championship. There's a lot of games to get through, so there's going to be many twists in the road. He started well now, but, you know, as I say, come Christmas, things could be different. That's not very far away either, so we just have to wait and see. Without sounding too cliche, it's one fixture at a time, and try not to get too carried away, really. Just let it happen and see where we go. So it's going to be exciting, though. It's going to be very exciting. At least they've not started the season with multiple losses. That's the main thing. I think if that had happened, then so many people's heads would have been down quickly. The fans would have been really, like, against the club as well, which again just creates a really difficult atmosphere to play in. So I think from that point of view, the results have been positive, right? And the outcome's been positive so far. So let's just keep seeing what happens, and fingers crossed they just continue to do all right. You know, no one's expecting a push for the playoffs or the Championship or anything like that title. Literally, I think every fan would take your hand off to be one spot above the relegation zone from the end of the season. People are more than happy with that. And if you can do it with a game to spare, then I think, again, they'll be really happy. I think if it doesn't go to the last day of the season, they'll be delighted. But it's wait and see. As I say, there's a lot of football to be played. We've still got quite a lot of football to be played here as well. As I say, this is not the easiest thing to do with attribute masking on. We're only getting a snapshot of players' abilities at this point, and sort of being like, I don't really know what these guys are good enough, what they can do, what they can't do. So, you know, we sort of have to try and build a picture with a little bit of guesswork, and some bits is just, sometimes it works and it works perfectly, sometimes doesn't work so well, so we maybe end up getting a couple of duffers, but it's all the joy of the game, and it's a bit like real life, I suppose. Really, you're never going to know attributes of players, so you can take a bit of an idea and a bit of a look at someone and go, yeah, they're probably decent enough at that, but until they get into the dressing room and in the club, you never know how they're going to be with the rest of the squad. So it's one of those, you roll the dice and hope for the best. So Lindy looks pretty good as well. Again, he's not a right back though, which is a bit of an issue. Or maybe we have to just come up with a new tactic that doesn't have right backs. Maybe we go for a 3 at the back system, or a 5 at the back technically, with some wing backs. Maybe we look at that. What features do you want to see added or removed in FM23? Well, the one that I think I'd like, the one that I think everyone would like, the one that is probably not going to be there, is a set piece creator. I think everybody would want a set piece creator, but I can't see it happening. I can't see it. I think it's going to be either too complicated to input, or they're not going to do it until it's perfect. And I think that's pretty more likely. I think they would not risk putting something in that's not quite ready, in the same way that I don't think they're going to put the WSL in this year, because I don't think that the women's match engine, they were saying they're actually going to do a proper rebuild of the match engine that's just for women, so they're actually putting the motion capture against women's bodies rather than men's bodies, rather than just simply going, there's the match engine, stick women's names in it. They are going to get it so it plays like women's football, which is just so great to think that they're going to do that. Jack Plays FM, welcome. Appreciate the raid, buddy. Hope you're well. How's your stream? Nice to see you. Welcome on in. Welcome to trying to fix Bolton Wanderers. The issue being that that's kind of my own fault, really, to be honest. That we were doing all right for 4 games, and then all of a sudden we've had six defeats on the bounce. So things are not looking good right now, and we're gone from being quite comfortably away from the relegation zone to being back in the mix. And I mean, it was a big move, and I'm sure we're going to be giving a little bit of time to fix it and make it so that we're not in the bottom, that we're not going to be under pressure. But you can never really tell, can you? You can never tell how the board are going to react. So we're going to kind of try and hope for the best. Isaac Mabaya can play all over the place, so where can he play? He's wanted by Harrogate as well. They want a grey one. Under this, we can't even pay $1,000 for someone on loan. This is maybe we might have to do a little bit of wiggling with that transfer budget and these wages, because this could actually cripple us, and I think we'd be shooting ourselves in the foot to not consider it, you know. Jack says, stream went well, just started a new save at Queen's Park in Scotland. Very nice, good plan. Loving the idea of a Queen's Park save. That's a good shout. Evening, Inky, how are you, buddy? Welcome. How many old men can we sell? I mean, mate, if we can get rid of the old guard, then loads. So many old players in this team who aren't good enough, isn't it? Jean Vargas, Colombian DLP. Is that something that we need to look at? Shout out about yourself. Yeah, we got a good move, mate. We got a good move into Bolton, so we decided to jump on it. So it's pretty decent. Ages are looking. So here's our average age of our squad. So if we pull it up this way around, so 34-year-old goalkeeper. We're about to bring in potentially a 32-year-old centre half, maybe. We've got Dempsey, who's 32. Dion Charles is 32, but we're trying to get rid of him anyway. MJ Williams is 32. Our goalkeeper is 31. Midfield, 30. 29 is our wing back. And then we got some 28s. Yeah, so we got quite a lot, to be honest. Quite a lot that we can ship out and try and move off. You watched our lot last night, very poor. Yeah, they're shit. They're absolutely shit. There's nothing. There's just nothing to look at, to be honest. That's of any. There's no redeeming features at all in the squad. Just get rid of it. Sack it off. Start again. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd be happy for them to get relegated again, to be honest. Yes, B-Burn, how are you? Welcome back. Good to see you again. Hope life's treating you good. Leon King's rejected the trial. Sean Raggett hasn't, though. 33-year-old centre-back from Dundee. Of course he hasn't. Of course he hasn't rejected the chance to come and hang out at Bolton just to see what happens. Luciano has gone to Paris Saint-Germain rather than Bolton. Who would have thought? He's currently valued at 6.6 million. Excellent. Is he interested in a loan? $4,000. We can't afford $4,000, but would he be interested in coming? I'm surprised he's gone to PSG, to be honest, as opposed to staying in gloomy Bolton. But you know, it's one of those, right? Max Johnson, they want full wages again. Max Johnson, just another right back. Just any right back right now would be fine. Scottish right back, reasonable, good teamwork, determination. First touch is fine. Branson be aggressive. He's sort of what we need, but again, we can't really afford even even £1,400 on wages, we are going to have to move that budget, I reckon, move that slider. Because look, Mabaya, we can't even get him. And we don't know too much about him, but he plays everywhere. I don't think we play him as a midfielder though, to be honest. And Francisco Jose has gone to Tottenham, so again, like, he's not chosen Bolton either. So I don't understand how this has happened, really. Brooklyn, Linz Foster, he's not going to come for no money. Fierhelder's not going to take away his loan, that's fine. Luciano, they definitely want the £4,000. Of course they do, because, you know, he's... Why would you not? Why would you not? And then Stephen Duke McKenna, again, they want his wages also, but... So what about Hibbs? I just kind of think there's something about him, really, but I'm not sure. The fact that he can play everywhere is handy for me, but... I don't know, marking's not great though, is it? 5'7", if we're looking at as a defender, it's not great. Coventry have just got a new manager in as well, so they're going to have the new manager bounce. We've got our new 4-4-2 in place, so... Is there anything else on there on the roles? We don't have any affiliate clubs. Otto, no. We've only just turned up, so we're not going to get any either, sadly. Just yet. We've had a look to see who's available for loan, and nobody seems to be jumping out at this point. You know, I'm tempted for us to play out from the back again as well, but I'm also thinking just get the ball moving. We go down the wings possibly with this one. Keep a relatively low defensive line. Might move up to standard if needs be. Try and push on rather than inviting pressure. I think might be the best way to do that. But it's more of a counter attack, I think. So we can sort of get ourselves into a counter situation. I don't know. I guess we try. New bug, half my team playing green and white, half the team in all black. Yeah, the black kit bug has been a thing, hasn't it? So it's it's a strange one, that one. It is a strange one. Because there's no rhyme or reason to it either. You're just like, I don't know why that is. Or to midfield and defend, I think, possibly. Forgot. Not long until FM 3. No, not long at all. Not long at all. It's going to be here before you know it. David Oliver doesn't want to go to Queen of the South from Billericay, which is fine. He looks good, but his finishing's not brilliant. But there's something about him, you know, I'm looking at him going, there's a player there, there's possibly a player there. I'm going to cancel that because there's nothing really there that's jumping out at us, to be honest. Beat is usually around 2 weeks, I would say, Inky before the game. So 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that, like ish. So I suppose, like, if you're using a bit of a guesswork or a sort of, we're maybe about 6 weeks or so, 7 weeks or so away from having everything all happen. So yeah, the excitement is on now. It's a thing. Thomas Gambos. Again, I like this. Look, Sky Championship player could improve a lot, but only sign him as a last resort. Don't get it. Don't get that. That makes no sense. Surely if he's good enough, he's good enough. Graham McLaughlin. Dragos Gurau. Romanian who's playing at Cardiff Met. I mean, obviously, of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? You know, but he knows if he knows Morgan, then maybe he's a good player to bring through as well. I don't know if we'll get a work permit for a 19-year-old Romanian. Brandon Riley. Ooh, now that looks... Marking's not good and tackling's not good, but technique is very good, as is aggression is very high. Very good stamina. He is available for loan. So by default, the fact that he's available means he is being considered, even if he is a little bit too angry. Reece Burgess plays out on the left. Good dribbling, good determination. 5'11". At this point, I think we're in a situation where we don't quite know what the identity of the team is either. So bear with me. Excuse me, sorry about that. Obviously, we're trying to work out what the team's going to look like going forward. Now, they're not going to let Sean Rooney go. Sean Rooney, we could potentially bring in 31. So again, not really ideal, but probably a little bit on the older side. Especially if we're looking about, if we're planning for Moneyball, it's not going to be something that's going to make sense. So let's put Johnson on the shortlist still. He's still there. They still want $4,000. Right, we don't have $4,000 yet, so let's cancel that. Let's cancel that as well for Lions Forster. Daniel's going to go out on loan. That's fine. Okay, a couple of trialists coming in, then we can see what they're going to look like. What's Jack Elliott wanting? Is he wanting big? He's wanting big cash, isn't he? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Mustafa Karasha from Besiktas. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near him. Dominic Iorfa was a player as well that we looked at, but again, those wages are just a little bit too high. I think. Let's say 8.5 for his for him to come on loan. Which again, Jimmy Dunn, $13,000. We can't pay $13,000. We don't have that money. Just don't have it. There's a guy from Celtic we got on the shortlist actually. Ivor Lenton as well. I quite like the look of this guy. Possibly. He might do just for a year. No, could just plug a gap. Burton and Portsmouth both want him. He's not very expensive. His wages shouldn't directly be too high. We can't even afford to get him in on loan, so maybe we have to try and buy him, but how much is he worth? $13,000-ish starting price. Let's see. Let's at least have an ask about it, shall we? Lucas Horney, I think, is a fantastically named footballer, so quite intrigued by that. We might have a look at getting him in just for memeability. Nicholas Mahmood looks like he could be half decent as well, so really good marking, really good positioning. 20 years old, only 5'10", but really good jumping reach. So maybe we learn a little bit more about him. He is a class of 4-star, so he could be someone to look at. He could be a very, very good player actually. And there's this lad here from Celtic. Where is he? It's James Shaw as well from Bolton, from Wolves. Sorry, he looks good as well. Good heading, good determination, positioning's okay, jumping reach is great, strength 6'4". But again, just $2,000. We haven't got $2,000 to spend on him at this point. I think we're going to have to adjust some money, aren't we? Really. Jimmy Dunn sounds like a regen from the 50s. He does a little bit, doesn't he? 19-year-old Romanian. Has Raul ended up on the database? Quite possibly. It says here, it says personality negative. Is that right? Sounds about right. That does sound right, doesn't it? That does sound about right. Wayne Cundle could come in. He looks pretty handy. Again, he looks very, very decent, to be honest. Where's the lad from Celtic? Is he down as a right back? We'll show you him in a second. He's one of those players that you sort of look at and you're like, if you weren't Bolton, you wouldn't be sitting there going, this is a guy to get. But here we go. tackling, determination, like, this is all good stuff. Acceleration, no. 3.8 mil, 3.8 grand a week, sorry, is not great. Listed for loan, okay, but we can't loan him somehow, to be honest. Matty, appreciate the follow. That's very kind of you. Thank you, mate. So yeah, so we have to go for trying to sign him, but with when he's also out of contract at the end of the season, so it doesn't seem to make too much sense, really. Well, speaking of how he's fallen off the earth, he has a little bit, which means that if you speak his name, he will come back at some point. So Ronan Darcy's going to go to Rochdale, that's fine. Mahmood's not coming on trial. Do we take a guess with him? Just take a thing and presume he's going to be good? 4-star recommendations, potential. Heading's not great though. Tackling's not brilliant. We could be missing out on a player here. We could be, maybe. Who knows? He's coming to FMT Live. Could you imagine? Oh, I tell you what, if you're not coming to FMT Live, why not? Let's do that. Let's do the plug, shall we? Let's get those tickets sold. People have bought them. Good shout, Inky, by the way, to remind me to plug some tickets. Here we go. If you can get to Nottingham on the 7th of November, one day before FM23 is released, you can come and see Football Manager Therapy live. Myself, Rich Owens, special guests, who of course are not going to announce who those special guests are. Special guests, and after the show, it's just going to become a bit of an FM meetup, to be honest, because there's quite a few of us who are all going to be in and around from the community. So yeah, come and have a drink with us, come and hang out, and it should be fun. We can't afford to even have a conversation about joining us afterwards. Brilliant. Right, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm switching the budgets across because this is just... it's going to cripple us. Really. Like... do you know what I mean? If we're not doing it, it's going to destroy us and we haven't got any chance of getting anybody. So let's try and get Sean Rooney in. Yeah. Hamza Red, welcome. Group FM session the next day. Possibly. There's a shout in it. Okay, here we go. Let's get Sean Rooney in, shall we? Will he take $3,000? Maybe. Don't think he's going to. 3-2? That's fine. Right now, what's Smith saying here? FM Communities Christmas Eve. It is a little bit, isn't it? It is a little bit like that. It's a time when we all come together and we tell everyone what we're thankful for, and it's still can't get a offer. Yeah, Josh Tobin. This is the guy we missed out on. Like, I think he's going to be pretty handy. Can't believe we ballsed it up. But at the same time, I can absolutely believe we ballsed it up. It's very much the way that I do things around here. So Ivor Lenton, hopefully we can bring in as well. Zayn Mulianis, 4-star. Also Wrexham. Taylor Foran again is also an option. Lamin Xhaka. Could be 6'4", Norwegian. Can play right back as well. Portsmouth are interested. Can head. $4,000 on loan. Might be a bit too expensive. We'll stick it in for now, but it might not be the one that we go with. Obviously, the problem is the more bids we put in, then money's kind of all considered as being spent. So we then sort of go, oh, we don't have any money for this player that we might actually want. So, I mean, Sean Longstaff we've looked at. Inky, but we're not paying 24 grand on his wages. Evening Khaki Snowman, welcome in. Pleasure to see you. Streaming numbers could be huge. Everyone given the new game coincides with the World Cup. It could be. I mean, I think that the actual fact that it's going to be coming out anyways is great for people's numbers. I think we get some good. I appreciate the follow there, Khaki Snowman. Thanks, man. Yeah, I think the fact that it's a new game, people's numbers go up anyway. With regards to the World Cup, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure what the World Cup's going to do with numbers, to be honest, because it's going to be a time when, yes, there's going to be interest, but I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the World Cup screening times. Like, is it during is it in the evening? Like, do we know when the actual matches are going to take place or not, or what? New FM's out on the 8th of November, Snowman. So just been announced the other day. So 8th of November is the date you need to put in your diary there for FM 23. Also, by the way, if you haven't pre-ordered it already, you can use this link here. Use the code FAN5, and you can get yourself the game for £32.05. It's my affiliate link, so I definitely recommend you use that. I would definitely recommend you use it. Full disclosure, I get a little kickback on this. It is an official Sega link as well, so Sega approved. So it's not like a shonky one. But yeah, go through the Fanatical account, and yeah, get yourself the game. Evening JM, appreciate you being here as always. You know I appreciate you. So we drop you a big shout out. Hope you're well. 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 7 o'clock. Oh, okay, so interesting times then. Very interesting times. Obviously, as a Scotland fan, I wouldn't need to know about those sorts of things. So, who should I sign on my Leighton Orient safe? I mean, Alec, you've seen the last hour here. we haven't progressed at all, and we're trying to work out what on earth to do at Bolton. So, my only recommendation would be scout the living shit out of everywhere. Just scout. Offer some trials. See what goes on. See what people are looking at. If you're in League 2, then Kyle Hudlin is probably the only player I would definitely recommend. Definitely go for Kyle Hudlin. Right, Francisco Jose has been given a work permit to go to Tottenham. £24 million, they reckon he's worth. Oof. And they want £1,000 for him to come and play for us. You know what? We're going to go and see if we can get him in, because that could actually be the deal that we want. Right, is Lenton going to come in? One-year extension after 10 games if we avoid relegation. That'll be fine. Because Lenton's all right, isn't he? Like, if we get him in, he's fine. Yeah, Kyle Hudlin, absolutely, 100%. He's the. You need to get that guy in. 6'9", he will get you goals. He doesn't look much. But there he is. In fact, he's available for us. We could take him to Bolton. We could take him to Bolton, but I'm not sure. Harrison Solomon's gone from Gillingham. Okay, interesting. Yeah, they're going to want some cash, aren't they? Right, okay, so we have to, again, do a bit of jigging around. Could get us a look at Francisco. So James Shaw we can get for a couple of grand on loan, or Ivor Lenton. course, we don't know a great deal about either of them, to be honest. Okay. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Big gone in there. That's Forest Green. I mean, on paper, Coventry and Bristol City are matches that we should be winning at 20th and 18th. Sheffield United second, that's going to be an issue. 14th for Sheffield Wednesday. Blackburn at top. Luton 24th. So realistically, we do need to start looking to get some goals and get some points on the board here. As I say, we're going to go 4-4-2 now. That's what our formation is going to be going forward for the next few weeks, possibly until we realise that doesn't work either. But hopefully that's not the situation. Let's just see what we can do in terms of players on the bench. I think we're pretty much where we are. Right, that's probably as good as we're going to get, I think. Unless we put MJ Williams on and we put Welsh out right back. Let's try that and have him as a fullback on defend. Maybe we do that. We can but try. We can but try. That seems to be the only way to go for it, right? So here we go then. Let's see what we've got. Again, there's no sounds coming through on the game just yet, so there we go. That should be coming through now, is it? Yeah, a little bit of audio coming through on game day. To be fair, the fact that we're only just above Coventry and Rotherham, a point's probably okay at this point, but realistically, these are the sorts of games you need to be winning. As Coventry have got a free kick, which is... Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Fine. It's going to be like that, is it? Okay, we have the ball. What can we do with it? Welsh puts it in. Reece Morgan. Reece Morgan's only gone and scored. Oh, ref's got his flag up. Oh. I thought we got our Welsh and Ganch had scored there. Okay, we need to do something a bit better. What can we do that's different? High needs to play a bit further up, I think, somewhere else. Camera shifts behind the free kick taker to goal. Oh yeah. That's the yeah. We know that there's a few sort of like obvious traits that you can tell what's going on, and sadly, we have fallen foul of them. Let's see if we can get anything going forward here. Do a slight tweak, move Hyam a little further up. We are still 3 points clear of Swansea, actually, who are in the relegation zone at this point, so that's interesting, seeing them down there. Well, it's a goal kick from Coventry. We've lost the ball. We haven't won the second ball back. They've got possession. They're going to score here, aren't they? This is going to be 2-0. It should have been 2-0. We're going to press them. We're going to sit a bit higher. Move that tempo up as well, I think. It was a very good shot. It was a very good shot, Jam. Here's Welsh. Comes forward. Thomas. Morgan. Gives the ball, giving the ball away. Win it back, though. Dempsey. Nice little ball through Hyam. What a goal that is. That's what we're talking about. Get high and playing that little bit higher up. Great interception here by Gotts. Was just a question about how's Robbie Gotts getting on earlier. Lovely ball through, but that's a cracking finish from Hyam. Absolutely cracking finish. Right, now we need them to keep going. Momentum's with us now. At least that's what we have to try and hope. Dempsey, what a ball that is. Thomas has got to do better. He's got to do better, hasn't he? Anyone, can we mix anybody up at this point? Maybe we bring Reese off, possibly. I don't really want to change too much because theoretically the team are playing well, but if we can have a tiny extra bit of creativity, that'll be really helpful. Bring Thomas off now for Mantovu. Put him there as well. See if we can get a little bit more attacking going forward. Right, Peacock Farrell sends it forward. Oh, it's been picked up. It's only going to come back, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like it's coming back. This is where we lose the game. We pushed on too much. We pushed on too much. Damn. Damn it. Great ball. No one's, to be fair, no one's marking him, but when they're tracking him back. I think we're going to hit in the same position, aren't we? It's going to end up 3-1, and it's not going to be a deserved 3-1 defeat. Get your foot in, get your foot in. Get your feet in, boys. Oh, look, they're just passing around. They're making space now. Told you, 3-1. That does not deserve to be a 3-1 defeat. This is absolute. Like, what are we meant to do at this point? This is not a 3-1 defeat game. Terrible. It's a great goal from their perspective, by the way. Like, tore us apart. But yeah, we need an extra bit of stability because this is getting quite worrying now. Dropping into the bottom half of the dropping just outside the relegation zone. Maybe we shouldn't have pushed as high as we should have done. I think it's yeah, it's one of those where we need to fix something out. That's disappointing because the issue was it's not even the right back that's the problem at this point. That was goals conceded down the left, and to be honest, we should have gone 2-1 up. Yeah, I think yeah, we needed to finish that strike, didn't we? That one was 1-on-1. Thomas has got to finish that, and then from there it's just we've pushed too far. That's our own fault. We've pushed up a little bit more, been caught on the break, and it's a sucker punch more than anything. And we've got to learn from that. We've got to learn from it. I mean, hopefully we can get some players in quickly before the Bristol game. 6 days to go. Who are we going to get in? Sean Rooney? It's a bit of experience, isn't it? It's a bit of experience. Let's get him in. At least it's a defender, you know what I mean? Are we counter pressing? Is it worth regrouping when someone gets the ball? See, the thing is, Raja, we were regrouping at first, and we weren't really. I wasn't really seeing anything from the players. So I thought, let's counter press, and when we counter press, that's what got us the first goal. That's what got us the equaliser. The problem was at that point was when I'd moved. You can see here, what I'd done was, so Hyam was at this point, so Hyam looks like he works quite well here. However, that means that Pierce is left slightly exposed, so what I did was I put Gotts there, and I had my defensive slot there, and then this ball-to-ball, box-to-box was here. Trouble is, when I put the youngster there, like this guy here, he was a bit too high. Do you know what I mean? That's the problem, and there's too much of a gap, so that didn't quite work. So yeah, so we started to regroup, but I think against lower quality teams, we should probably press, try and get in their faces a little bit. I think we maybe sat back too much as well. Maybe try and close the lines a bit, condense the play. I think if we force them back inside as well rather than outside, because I don't think our defenders are too great with regards to sort of like heading. They're tired as well, so they're going to make mistakes. Even in this point right now, if we just put, so Sean Rooney's in there, if he goes straight into the squad, you really sound like you know what you're talking about. Well, I appreciate that it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, but there's one thing of sounding like it, but there's another thing of doing something about it, and I don't know how we're going to do something about it at this point, because, as I say, we just aren't quite connecting with what I think needs to happen. I appreciate that it sounds like I can talk a good game, though, to be honest. Less running for the older boys, yeah. I mean, so Reece Morgan came in, he played well. They're saying he's an Enganche. Now, I don't know whether that means he can play as like a DLF, possibly, or whether we... Townsend, appreciate the follow, very kind, very kind. Like, if we put him there, like, and we make him an Enganche, then, like, I mean, look, if we can, this is league, this is the championship, like, can we play with an Enganche? We're at home, can we risk playing with someone like that? Do we play him as a false 9, maybe? Oh, yeah, well, welcome along, Townsend. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'm glad you found the channel as well, to be honest. It's we've been here a little while. We're having a lot of fun. You know, it's one of those ones where I think we've been, what? Yeah, 17 months now, I think. So, Blaster Central, welcome. Give the Enganche a try. Well, do we go with 2 up top against, or do we make him as a Trek? Like, maybe at home, Bristol City. Where are they? Where are Bristol? So Bristol are 17th. Right. We're 1 point ahead of Swansea. We're 3 points ahead of Rotherham. And we're 6 points ahead of Luton. Like, there's a lot of football still to be played, okay? Even if we slip into the relegation zones, there's still enough. There's still enough for us to try and get back out of it. There's enough time, right? Like, do we give it a go with 2 strikers up front and just see what happens in this match? Because we need to go for it, really. We need to try and get our sort of like, we need to get a positive outcome, really. We also need to get some players who, as you say there, maybe aren't dribbling as much. Maybe we play for set pieces. A bit too much going on over here, possibly. Just take things back a smidge. Strip it all down. Do sensible stuff. Play the ball out to the fullbacks. And just try it that way, you know? Do you think there's any benefit to players playing a wide men on the same role and duty? In a sense, Blaster Central, yes, you could do. What I tend to think is that it's sort of like, so in reality, in real life, you would probably have those players doing slightly different things. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I guess the obvious one to think about is think about like the United team where they had Beckham and Giggs. So you'd have Beckham would probably be about here, like, so, but on the right, so he'd be a little bit further up. He'd obviously just be whipping balls in and crossing. Giggs would be allowed to run and dribble, so he'd then be more of a wide playmaker possibly. So he wouldn't necessarily just be a winger on attack. he'd maybe be a wide playmaker, whereas Beckham might just be just a wide midfielder, possibly just literally out wide doing whatever he needs to do. He's not necessarily getting involved in the play unless he has to, and then you want to kind of keep him out as wide as you can. So you can have it, but you can have it like that, and it will work. But I just think that there's sometimes a way of looking at it with something slightly different. It offers different opportunities, Just cancel the move there for a player, because I don't think he's going to be worth the money that they're wanting for him. Right, out you go. Shorber Thomas, he wants out. Fine. I mean, he's missed a great chance in the Coventry game, so yeah, away you go. You've made my decision much easier. Although nobody actually wants to sign him, of course. Is this guy worth £8,000? Have we got £8,000? That's the question. Have we got £8,000? Probably not. It's wanted by Forest Green and Hibs. Midfield body. Oh, do we bring the Brazilian in? Do we go for the Brazilian again? I'm tempted to find out what he could do, Like, he's gone to Spurs and he's now worth that kind of money. Like, he's got to be worth something, right? He's got to be a decent shout. I mean, yeah, 24 mil. Is he Wonder Kid already? Defensive midfielder, he would essentially replace Robbie Gotts. Can we stick a 2-star player in right now or not? Not sure. So James Shaw would be happy to join us. He's a big strapping lad from Wolves. So that's good. So that's another centre back. Plus we've then got potentially this lad coming in from Blackburn as well. Fans not happy about getting him in though, but the thing is, we have no other options. We don't have centre halves. We need defenders. So he's coming in, and he's big. So let's hope that he can be somebody, Max Hunt. Nah, no, we're not going to go for that. Yes, Duncan's come out. That's fine. Max Hunt, we're not bothered about talking about why the deal didn't go through. It's just one of those things. He was 6'6". He wasn't going to cost anything. Maybe we could have gone in for him. Maybe, but he looks decent enough, doesn't he? I mean, I'm loving his mohawk eyebrows. That's a great look. Sol Bulkley? Let's keep him on the shortlist, I reckon. Quick, determined, decent tackling. Marking's okay. Been playing fine in League 2. Could be a player to keep our eyes on. Mustafa Shiftchi. 6'1" Turkish lad. Possibly a championship standard. Been a Fenerbahce all his career. Yusuf, 18-year-old Spanish goalkeeper. Rodrigo de la Canal. I mean, it's a great name. Don't get me wrong. I'm not entirely sure that Rodrigo de la Canal is going to be interested in joining Bolton. Slightly more chance of us getting Craig Halkett, I reckon, from Hearts. Will Hunt from Shelbourne. Looks reasonable enough. Former Scunthorpe player. Irish lad, decent first touch, decent acceleration, jumping. We don't know too much about him, so let's keep our eyes on him. Carmen Bush. Again, interesting. He looks He looks good, but the scouts are saying don't go anywhere near him. I don't understand it. £18 million player with what looks like decent attributes, to be honest. He's not available for loan. And the squads and the scouts are going, here's a player, don't sign him. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Ooh, Ian Smith is going to sign for us next season, is he? There we go, that'll do. That's good. How can he cost that much and the scouts say he's bad? Exactly. This is the thing. Right, you know, I'm going to cancel the Jata deal. Because I think we've already got other players coming in that reflects his asking price. Is it because you can afford? Oh, I don't think we can afford him. That's the problem. Because I mean, we've brought this lad in from Wolves, and they're saying that the scouts are saying that it's a terrible decision. And I'm like, I don't really think it is, to be honest, because he's a young lad. He's come from Wolves. He's 6'4". He's better than not having another centre half. Like, how can that be a bad idea? I mean, the scouts. Yeah, you're probably right. The scouts probably are a bit bad, to be honest. Let's actually have a look at the scouts, see what they are like. Yeah, they're not good. They're not good. Let's try and get another scout in. So Rooney's in. James Shaw's in. Okay. Mungo's tired, so let's put Shaw in. Where's Welsh is still tired as well, so he might not come in. Cozza Bob, my man. How are you, my man? Welcome, Raiders. How was drafting tonight, Bob? Tattooed Viking, you were right. Absolutely right. Get ourselves a bit of hydration. Appreciate the follow as well, Tattooed Viking. I'm very well, thank you, Bob. Very well indeed. How are you? How are you? And here we go. Gouda's in as well. And Sai Maggio. Oh. Big shout to all of you. Maggio's gone and smashed it, is it? Well, there you go. There's a thing. Gerard, appreciate the follow as well. Big shout for Sai and for David Nyho in the chat as well. Welcome into everybody. I'll take a semi to Sai. I mean, well, we all will, to be honest, Tattooed Viking, and we all have as well. Yes. Very quickly correcting yourself there, going, no, not like that. No, we exactly like that. Not sure I can handle so many semis. Well, not with a crowd. Si. Do we go back in for this lad though? I don't know. He sort of has ability. It might be something. But maybe we just spend it on the young Brazilian lad instead. Right, they're happy with that. They're happy with Ivor Lenton. Good. They've joined us, by the way. We're at Bolton at this point. We've left York City after doing pretty well. We've done back-to-back promotions with York. We won the playoffs in the National League North and the National League. We got to the League 2. We were 12th in the first season, in our first season at that level, and things were going fine. But then we got the chance to come and join Bolton, and things started well. Things started very well. And then things have gone badly. Like, we've now lost 5 in a row, and we've scored 1. And we're playing Bristol City now, and we're now just above the relegation zone. And that's fine, because we were out of the relegation zone when we first started, so it's not a major problem. But we've got a lot of players who are either injured, knackered, or not very good. So it's far from ideal at this moment in time. Stephen Welsh now wanted by Forest. We don't want that as a thing. Bolton are in the Championship, yeah. So it's exciting, right? It's exciting. We've got, we have a Championship side. Whether or not they're a Championship level squad, I don't know, but we have a Championship level side. And we've just signed Sean Rooney from Hibs. That's literally the level that we're talking about right now. We've brought in Ivor Lenton from Blackburn, and James Shaw has come in on loan from Wolves. And the fans aren't particularly happy about James Shaw signing, which is a bit strange because I think he's all right. He's decent. He's certainly the level we can attract, which again isn't particularly great. We need to accept that as well. We need to accept that the level we can attract is not good. Bradley Nixon is. I'm going to play him instead of Thomas actually because he kicked off and I can't be dealing with that. Actually, no, he doesn't quite fit. Play him instead of Reese. I mean, Reese played pretty well. Reese doesn't really deserve to be dropped. Let's put Hurst Davison on. He doesn't quite fit there either. Dembele. Give him a go out there. He's as good as anyone out on the wing, isn't he? Yeah, Thomas. I think Thomas has sort of annoyed me a little bit because he was one-on-one with the goalkeeper and missed, and it would have been enough to put us 2-1 up in the last game. Instead, we lost the match 3-1. So I'm putting all the blame on him, rightly or wrongly. Right, let's go then. I would ask for score predictions, but I'm not overly confident. So in fact, you know what? No, go for score predictions. It could be literally anything at this point. We obviously just need to make sure that a positive result will be good. But if it's not a positive result, then never mind. We've got half a season left to try and fix this. I think we've got 15 games left of the season, so hopefully we're still going to be managing all those 15 games. Bailey Peacock foul out to Sean Rooney. So Williams there making his appearance in centre half. He is technically a midfielder, so there's Johnny Kenny doing the Lord's work on the wing. Pulls it back. Dempsey! Oh, here we go. This is more like it. Now, batten down the hatches, shut up shop. We've got 87 minutes to hold on. Good header by Dembele at the back post. That's the Dembele. I think the Dembele that played at Celtic, and he's currently living his best life in Bolton. Moves us up to 19th. Huge result if we can get something here. Brings us within touch and distance of Bristol City, Birmingham, Derby, Millwall. I mean, Millwall have just sacked Mikel Arteta. That's how mad this save's gone. There's Jata, the guy that we looked at, the big Norwegian lad. Don't know whether we keep closing down at this point or whether we sort of try and shut up shop and regroup a little bit. There's no real need for us to sort of chase the game at this point. We could potentially sit back, but I imagine with balls like that through, it's going to be, ooh, that was a bit fortunate. Let's regroup rather than chase them down at this point. We are still unbalanced as well. We've only had one shot. This is like really, really negative football, which I'm not really a fan of. I'm not sort of trying to make it that we are going to play dull as shit, but at this point we just need results. We just need results, and if we get them, then sometimes it doesn't really matter how you play, does it? Although having said that, now we're regrouping, our shot count's going up, so maybe we'll look better. Interesting though, we've now moved Mungo out to fullback. We look, don't say it too loudly, a little bit more defensively solid with him out at fullback. He is on a 6.4 though, but it's still better than what I think it was Davies was playing there. Pierce, sorry. I'm struggling to think what I need to do at this point, because we might be about to concede a last minute. Oh, that is like hand in mouths time. We've broke the streak. Broke the streak. The goal at this point, Si, is avoid relegation. Absolutely, yeah. We sort of didn't really like, the whole point of this save is just a bit of a journeyman before FM23. We joined them when they were 23rd, so we have to just stay up essentially. It's been a big jump from League 2 into the Championship, so I think if there's any way we can get into the Premiership before the end of before FM23 starts, then that'll be great. And yeah, it's just nice to have one last season, one last save before the game cycle starts. So let's see where we end up. We always joked that the best way to finish FM22 would be to win the Champions League with Sunderland. I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does somehow, then talk about narrative, right? That'll be exceptional. A week to go in the transfer window, and we've now got a recruitment meeting. Perfect. I'll tell you what, Tony, we've been looking at footballers. Have you? Excellent. Good, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Fabian Taylor, only sign him as a last resort. Then don't tell me about him then. Kevin McDonald. Scout. There's always at least one decent player in Scotland called Kevin McDonald, so just do it. Billy Heaps. I'll show you a player as well, by the way, guys, who for everyone who's just come in from Bob's raid. I'll show you a player that we had on trial, and unbelievably he didn't want to sign for us. In fact, two players actually. One would rather play for PSG than us, and another one would rather play for Tottenham. And I think that just tells you everything about modern day footballers, doesn't it? They were nowhere. We brought them over on trial, not Paris Saint-Germain, not Tottenham. We did. And then we're the ones that miss out. But yeah, it's a very interesting player as well. So I'll show you this guy now, right? So this is, we can always say that he was at the club, so that's pretty cool. So Francisco Jose turned up, 20 years old, came on trial, and then has gone to Spurs. He's now currently valued at £24 million. So I don't quite know if he was going to be good enough for Spurs. Probably not, but he's certainly better than what we can have. And then obviously we've got PSG, second team, Luciano. He's the guy I think is actually better out of the two of them. £7 million now. We are trying to get him in on loan though, and we can now actually pay some of those wages. So let's try and get him. We're not going to play him as a Mezzala because we don't play with one, but I'd be tempted to get him in if we can. And can we even get the other guy? Well, Ivor Lenton can play DM as well if needs be, so we can move him up. He's just coming from Blackburn, so he could be a handy enough player, to be honest. We're not looking for superstars at this point. We're looking for players who can come in and literally just do a job. That's all we need. We're playing Sheffield United now, so this is going to be, I suppose this is regroup territory, isn't it, really? We don't want to be chasing the game down, but then I guess defence is the best form of attack, right? So get in their faces, try and do something. Suppose we might as well push on. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? The worst that's going to happen is we can get beat. If we sit back, the worst it's going to happen is we can get beat. So yeah, let's give it a go. Let's just try it out. We've also still got a load of players to try and shift as well, because players are very, very old and cost them a lot of money. Like for example, like Shorba Thomas, we've tried to move here. He's on 13 grand a week wages, and he's just For us, that's a lot of cash. We're overspending. We've had to adjust our wage budget and move things around, even just to try and get a couple of players in on loan now, just so we can actually compete in January, because otherwise we were sinking without a trace. We just can't get these players moved. The contracts that they've got are bad. I mean, obviously, you know, not like Bolton to have bad contracts, right? How's about we do 3 million and not a Mazzala? 3 million, £3,000, sorry. Great. MJ is now, of course, got a flu bug. Brilliant. Have one good defensive performance. We get a clean sheet playing with a central midfielder in defence. And then all of a sudden, I've got the flu. Oh, of course you have. Of course you have. Why wouldn't you? Right, time for some debutants then. James Shaw's going in. He's big and tall enough. We're going to risk 2 tired players. Sheffield Wednesday is the game we probably need them back for, but as we say, we just need a little bit of momentum at this point. Like, we've stopped the rot in the fact that we're not lost another game now. $4 grand. Do we just pay $4 grand for them? Would he offer a bit of excitement? Would he offer some creativity? Maybe. Brian Longman's a little bit too expensive for us. Mark O'Brien, 28 grand. Where's he on loan from? Southampton. Yeah, he looks handy as well, doesn't he? Lewis needs what, eh? Roman Pogosian. Armenian right back. Lewis Amos, 30. Kevin Godow, 13 grand. We haven't got 13 grand. Andrew Cherry. There's a player right there, isn't it? There's a player. Not willing to let him go on loan. Shame. Because he looks very good. Steve Barry at Swansea. Wing back. We've been looking at wing backs. 10 million quid. That's why we can't go anywhere near him. Ngatia. 20 grand a week at Blackburn. Looks good though. Marcus Force. Part of me thinks we shouldn't really be going anywhere near players who play at Millwall, just to let them suffer. Sergio Montel. It could be exciting. 2-9. See if we can get a bit of South American flair, shall we? Why not? Why not? Val Romero in 11 grand. It's a bit too expensive for us. A bit too much. So yeah, so the plan here then, yeah, regroup, they're reckoning this is probably the best way to do it. Which might be the best way. So tired, very, very tired centre halves. In fact, you know what? I think they're too tired. It's not worth risking them. It might backfire. I think that's the right decision. I think it's probably best just to play with players who are fit, can see out the match, rather than just, you know. Yeah, rather than just sort of go, these are our best players. Because I'd rather that they were fit for the Sheffield Wednesday game, which is probably a game that we could potentially get something out of. This match, if we sort of chalk this one off, not chalk off, but like, we're not expected to do anything against second in the league. You know, so at least put a fully fit side out rather than half fit. Oof. Right, early warning shot there. think. So we need to be a little bit careful. Now coming down the wings, which we sort of expected would happen, which I guess means, well, it doesn't really mean anything when you go goal down. It's a good ball in. No one's marking him at the back post. Fine. It's another set play. What's happened? Have our set pieces gone off, have they? Yes, they have. Of course they have. Typical. That's one of those, isn't it? That's one of those. That's a me problem. Oh well. I'll hold my hand up on that one. Here's the third goal. Oof. That's how the draft went for you, was it, Bob? Oh dear. It happens though, doesn't it? It happens. This regroup is not working for us. 3-0. Terrible. Just getting punished. As we're saying, the thinking behind it, the planning behind what we're doing makes sense, but the actual execution of what we're doing is not good. Bolton till I cry. It's the Big Sam way, innit? It's the Big Sam. It's rebuilding Big Sam. Okay, so maybe wing play isn't the answer. Go for some sort of vertical tick attack. I don't think vertical tick attack is the way to go, to be honest, but let's pull that to the centre back, out to the full backs. Try that. We haven't really got the players. Get Mrs. J on, see if she can turn around. She probably could, to be honest. She could probably do a better job than I'm doing right now. But that's part and parcel of all this, isn't it? This is where we get the fun from, right? Robbie Gott's going to have a go from there, is he? No. Pierce, Gotts, Dempsey. Now the thing is, this is a good advert for our defenders to say that those new signings are absolutely what we needed. That these guys aren't ready yet. Pierce not having a great game again. Do we bring them back on? Do we bring the tired legs on? Yes, we absolutely do, because it's just not happened, does it? It's just not worked. Maybe bring Kenny off for Hurst Davison as well. Very poor. Very, very poor indeed. Gives the ball away. It's the thing, it's just like bad decision making as well. Hi, I'm Hurst Davison. Morgan. Dempsey has a go off the top of the bar. At least it's a sign of something. Well, Dempsey heads away. Morgan, Rooney, Dempsey. Oof, not a bad effort from Morgan, to be honest. Why do you go backwards his own goal? Yeah, I know. It's just some strange decisions side, to be honest. Regrets after leaving York? A little bit, Dan. I'm not going to lie. There is a little bit of regret, because things were nice at York. Things were going fine. But, yeah, that's... Now we've upset everybody. Yeah, it's not going well. But this is the thing, isn't it? You take these chances. You go, we all thought that jumping up to the Championship was the right decision. We had to do it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's all part and parcel of the game, isn't it? It would happen in real life as well. This is the thing. people would see this happen and they'd go, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like, of course, like, why would he not go to the Championship? So, and we've seen it as well when those managers then move and it doesn't quite work. So, yeah, I'm not overly surprised. But, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed at how quickly it's fallen backwards. We have gone back to, as I say, we're trying to go to a standard 4-4-2-ish. I know we've got that inverted forward, playing slightly higher up, but the inverted winger. But other than that, I think it's a fairly straightforward team. It's not, there's nothing massively out of the ordinary with it. You know, we looked a bit better as we changed to that tick-attacker. But again, as with everything in it, it's easier to do that when things are changed, but who knows what happens. At the minute we're not here just yet, so that's fine. Like, we're not here. Like, for now we're okay. And if we're not okay, then we're not okay. It's one of those things. It'll be disappointing if it doesn't work, but if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. I mean, we're not going to play Luciano as a Mazzala, so I've agreed to it, but it's not going to happen. It's more a case of, let's just see what he's like for a little bit, shall we? Yeah, I feel like we just have to play tired players, which I know is so counterintuitive. It's so counterintuitive, but Tom Pearce is not good enough at left back. We can't carry another centre half. MJ is still out. You know what? I'm going to give Josh Doyle a go at wing back. Why not? Why not? He can't be any worse than what we've got. And can maybe Wintle? Right. Corners need to be loaded as well, because that's only part of the problem. Only part of the problem. But yeah, in terms of, do we regret leaving York? A little bit. I think we're having... Where's the tactic from? It looks like the one I saw in the playoffs. This one? No, this is just a standard 4-4-2. Right? I've got a... To be fair, I started with that, and I moved it up because this guy plays as more of an inverted winger. I'd prefer him here, if I'm honest. It's just a very, very basic flat 4-4-2. It was originally with wing play, but it doesn't work for me. AJ's was this shape. Was it really? Okay. I mean, this here is something that sort of worked. Like when we did the Chinese save. This is how the Ice Ice Baby tactic was developed, with him there, and then I dropped a player back, and then eventually we started to drop players back as well. But yeah, it was on the left hand side, but I had this wing back bombing forward to cover, and when I played in 21, I had a system again where I had a player there. This wing back was firing all the way up in Turkey, which is obviously why I like playing with a pacey wing back. So, and then my thinking here is this ball winner covers him going up and about. He's going to go thereabouts there. This guy, with him being an enganche, I'm wanting him to sort of hold a little bit, but I don't trust that he works here. Fuck it, do we just try it? Stick him there. Let's see what's what. He's a standard fullback, but he should really be a wing back. On auto. Fuck it, let's go for it. Let's try it. AJ's setup was great, really great. He was an expert at set plays as well. To be honest, he was an expert at set plays. Everything I think it was the RDF game. I think every highlight had started with a set play, like whether it was a throw in or whether it was a corner or whatever. It was just all perfect, absolutely perfect. But yeah, in terms of my setup, it's just, for me, it's just a bog standard 4-4-2. Nothing flashy about it. F2 Echo, welcome in, appreciate the follow. Wintle puts it in, Kenny's heads away. Might have played it tonight, not won a single game. Really? Was he in tonight, was he? Got a Scandi flick. Ooh, oh dear. A little positive, maybe? Get a bit of encouragement on the team there. But this is the thing, though. It's like, it's all... Like, drafting is like that, isn't it? You can be dominant one week, and then the next week, absolutely nothing. Like, look at me in Top Manager. You know, I was FMT Top Manager. I went unbeaten in my group. Apparently, it's never been done before. With the Ice Ice Baby tactic that I use, got to the finals. I got beat 7-0 by Bullions. Like, how that is even a thing, I don't know. And you know, Bullions was using a very, very similar setup to me. The rules were different, but the setup was very much the same. And I just couldn't defend against it at all. But yeah, 7-0, and then I ended up finishing third, I think, in the playoffs. Was it third? No, fourth in the Top Manager. So yeah, I've gone from being unbeaten 2 days previous or a week previous to beating the team who finished first and the team who finished second, then losing to everybody else. So it's it wasn't good. Where I'm at Draft Club, I'm in the semis at Draft Club. Or is it quarters? Quarters it might be. I've got to play Bargy again, so I beat Bargy in the Top Manager. So I think he's out for a bit of revenge, to be honest, at that point. So it's me versus him in the quarters. So it's not inconceivable that I can get to the semis of that as well. And at that point, it's then anyone's guess, because the pool for that is very fun. Weird sentence. It's like when a WWE wrestler shows up on WCW. Yeah, that's sort of a thing. Like, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Si. Can we discuss something in drafts, which is the attributes of players can change quite a lot from each generation? Yeah, I think you're probably right, Dave. Yeah, there's a lot of change, to be honest, and all this talk of 3 striker formations being up here at the minute, I don't necessarily think it's a thing. I don't necessarily agree. I think that there's certainly people have worked out how to stop it, and I mean, I've got a tactic that I've been using in my odds save that I used against Stick. Stick had a big 3 striker formation. I used the formation that I've been using offline, and it just nullified everything and beat him, like, comfortably. And he was like, "Oh, okay, that's a thing." I was like, "Yeah, all right, cool." I didn't have any idea as to how it was going to work, and I certainly didn't expect it to be as positive as it was. But yeah, that absolutely nullified 3 strikers. But I wouldn't say it's going to work all the time, because again, it depends on what those 3 strikers are, who those 3 strikers are, what else is behind them, everything, yeah, all the other bits and pieces that go along with it. Bradley Nixon 3-0. Here we go. Poor Rich Owens is not going to be happy about this. Well, Sheffield Wednesday have got got an absolute beating coming. Big on the journeyman, then the Steve Claridge of drafting. Me too, Si. Me too. I'd rather, like, I quite like the fact that I've still got this reputation that I'm shit at drafting, but I don't really think I am, to be honest. I think I'm don't think I care as much as some people. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, I think you've got some people who just take it far too seriously, and I'm just happy for a laugh. Like, oh, what a strike that was. I remember when I got beat off Bullions, Ali was in the chat, on the panel, in fact, sorry, for Top Manager, and they were going, is that gonna crush Tony? And Ali's just like, Tony's gonna find that really funny. Like, he's gonna lose 7-0. He's gonna find it hilarious. Echo, how do you customize the stats on the left or on the screen here? It's just your monitor size. So with your skin, so because we're using the Renzi skin, then you need to have a look at that, and it allows you to pull through. So 2 secs. trying to find out who's at the front door there. The ring doorbell goes. I'm like, who the fuck's at the front door at 10:20? Mrs. J. She's just off out to get something from the car. I'm like, all right, fine. Yeah, so it's on the Renzi skin, and then I just pull everything across. And we've got like a 21, 22-inch monitor or something, so that allows you a bit of, well, to see some stuff. 4-0 win, 4-0 victory over Sheffield Wednesday. That certainly helps. Mackham Dad, welcome in, appreciate the follow. Rich, how are you feeling about Sunderland? Very happy with the season so far. Can't complain, can we? Can't complain. Like, I think we were saying a bit earlier on before, like, maybe Tony Mowbray wouldn't have been the first choice manager when Alex Neil left, but when you think about it, like, he did well at Blackburn, he got West Brom playing some great stuff, and now you look at him and you're like sort of going, yeah, it seems to work. Like, in the short time he's been there, I mean, the goal the other night was superb, absolutely superb, and yeah, I just think there's a good squad there. There's some decent players. There's a couple of good ideas. Like, I think the fact that they've not lost the first few matches really helps, because the fans it can be difficult playing there. Like, if the fans aren't behind you, and there's pressure. So I think that's worked out pretty well. Welcome back, and Dad. Appreciate you being in. Pleasure to see you. And I think that's sort of one of those things where, because they have had a couple of wins, because the expectation is so low this season, it is just a case of getting and actually just not go down. If somebody offered, you can finish one place above relegation right now, you can have that and the season can end, would you take it? I think every Sunderland fan would rip your arm off right now and just go, yeah, let's take it. Like, and if it's not the last day of the season as well, even better. So I think that'll be cool. I think that's kind of how they'd look to do it. Should say as well, by the way, that if you're looking for, this is the training patch that I'm using. It's I'm terrible at it, so I've just used the ones that RDF's got up online. So it's a fairly straightforward block. I don't fully understand training, to be honest. So it's one of those things where potentially I can make things worse. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. I think Mowbray is a great coach, and I think it's something that seems to work quite well for us. People have been very complimentary about him as a coach as well. So I guess just wait and see how it happens. Bob, how does someone go about playing in a draft against you? Well, that's a very interesting question. Cos of Bob, where could you potentially draft against me? Well, you could maybe join up for the TJFM versus the Community Draft Night, which returns next Sunday. Saimajo also has a draft on Sunday. I should say that as well. But yeah, we're back. We're gonna try and do it once a month again. And if you wish to take part, then of course you can come and sign up in this Discord link here. Thank you, Kozabob, for reminding me of that. Kozabob, of course, helping out in the planning stages at this point, trying to make it all work nicely. So yeah, if you wish to do so, come and hang out with us. It's the thing you can do. Let's be honest, when we let this Alex Neil put the groundwork in and Tony's released them. Yeah, you're right. I think there's been a lot of stuff that's been done with Alex Neil, and this guy doesn't want any wages at all. Excellent, but he's probably going to pick Birmingham, isn't he? Really? Speakman's done some classic signings. I think the thing is, I think that they said, like Alex Neil was saying, that this is the best and most together group of players he's ever worked with. And for him to then leave at that point, that's what felt really strange. But I think the players have just kind of all bonded off the back of it and just went, you know what? Like, let's just make it happen. Like, let's go for it. And it's been great. It's been great to watch. They've just sort of, as you say, they've just been unleashed and allowed to do whatever they want to do. So it's working. It's working perfectly well, to be honest, so far. And you know, long may it continue. Let's hope. Let's not try and sell anybody right now. Roger Anderson, actually, no, you know what? Roger Anderson can go. Doesn't look like he's any good. God, then, if he wants to be in Be a centre half. Be a centre half. We probably could do with as much defensive cover as possible, to be honest. He's probably not going to come here anyway. He's probably going to go to Birmingham regardless, so it doesn't really matter. But at least we can sort of say that we actually tried. Massive fan of Alex Neil, but he has a few jobs but he's had a few jobs that truly haven't worked out. I guess so. There is that. It's been tricky for him, I suppose. You know, I think what he did at Norwich was pretty good. He did pretty well at Norwich. Sergio Montiel. Are we going to risk Sergio Montiel? He could be a very interesting player, couldn't he? Yeah, he's gone to Birmingham, not a problem. Dan, can I whisper a charity link? 100-mile bike ride. Yeah, stick it in. Yeah. Either whisper me or stick it in the Discord, mate, and I'll DM me and I'll sort of fire it up in the chat here tonight. So let's do it. Let's go for it. We'll get an Argentinian playmaker in. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It feels very Bolton, doesn't it? At this point, let's get Sergio Montiel. How long's he out for? All right, 9 days. That's should probably have thought about that before trying to get him in the squad. Now we need to get some players out. Dion Charles is wanted. Can we get him moved? Forest Green, interested on loan. That could be a thing. Gouda, it's not just TJ get a chance to beat in the TJ draft tournaments. Yeah. There's a few people you can beat in the draft tournament. It's not just me you can beat. There's lots of other people you can beat. But you know, the main ones that you're probably hoping to take part against could well be myself there. There's plenty of other people to take part as well. You don't have to be a streamer either. You don't have to be a creator. You can just be, you know, we open it up to the community as a whole. So that's why it's called TJFM versus the community, and not just, you know, TJFM versus other creators, which we could have called it that, but it just wouldn't have had the same vibe, I don't think. So yeah, come and hang out. It'll be good fun. Right, Dan sent the whisper there. Let's get this up in the chat then, if you were interested. Just wait for it to come through, because I don't think it's come through yet, Dan. While we're doing that, we will do some other plugs as well, just while we're waiting here. So FMT Live is over in Nottingham on the 7th of November. So if you can get to Nottingham, come and hang out with us. And also, if you haven't bought FM23 yet or haven't pre-ordered it, use this link here. This little what's it called? Little sort of word. This word. Put fan5 in at checkout, and you get some extra money off. You get 5% off. You get FM23 for £32.05. I've butchered that plug, to be honest, completely. Buy FM23 for £32.05, and I get a little bit of support because we've teamed up with Fanatical to do it. So that's the link you need to use. Use that link and then add fan5 at checkout, like all of the influencers say, and then yeah, it all works out nicely. That's probably what needs to be said, I think. Oh, DM'd it on Discord. Cool. Let me get that. Right. There we go. That's it there. Okay, and then also donate to this as well. Which I'm about to get up here. 100 mile bike ride, which is a fair trek, to be honest. Jeez, they've nearly hit the target as well. Good work all around. But just because they nearly hit the target doesn't mean that's where it should stop. Right, Dion Charles can go out on loan, even though it's not going to bring us any money in. Great, now they've found us some fullbacks. Can donate as little as £1 as well. Yeah, no, of course, yeah. No, it's a lovely stuff, man. Lovely charity. We'll obviously we'll stick some cash in on that as well for you to help them reach their target. I think anyone raising money for good causes has obviously got to be encouraged. Right, is he available? Is he going to go? Still no one's looking for Sober Thomas. I mean, you asked for a transfer, mate. No one's coming in for you. This is your fault, not mine. Tony's had a show at the Fringe this year. No, not this year, Blaster Central. It's actually been a few years since I've been up there now. And myself and Mrs. J were talking about this. We've had some tentative discussions. The chat know about this as well. Some tentative discussions. Obviously, next year will be 10 years since we did the first ever FM Ruin My Life show. So we're sort of looking at it going, do we go back and do another little tour off the back of that? So maybe that could be something we're looking at potentially doing. So it's we've got a few things we need to try and iron out with it and have a look at, but if it's doable, then we'll certainly look at it. We've sort of tentatively spoken to the tour agents again, but I need to go back and speak to them properly about it. Ian Richard, right, how are you? Welcome. Hope life's treating you good. It's nice to see you back in. I need to load up our data hub stuff as well. See, because we still haven't got it all in. See, this is probably why we're not doing well, because of my data. It's not that at all. Let's get Sergio Montel. I mean, he's either going to be genius or the worst signing, right? There's nothing else it's going to be. Bringing him in from San Lorenzo, he's got stuff that could work. 19 for determination, I like. First touch at 15, I like. Technique, I like. 16. Vision at 12, not too shabby. Reasonably composed. Decent passing at 13. Fitness is good. Pacey. Work rate. Yeah. 18 years old as well. This is the guy. He's going to change everything. He's the game changer. I've got to believe that he's the right signing, surely. I can't sit there going, this kid's not going to do it. Because if I don't believe he's going to do it, why have we brought him in? You know, things not going too great on the pitch. Bring an Argentinian playmaker in. Technique 16 is a very good sign. It is. We're away to Blackburn next. Then we're against Luton at home and Reading at home. And see, we're getting into the grind of the season now. Like, look at these fixtures here. A couple of matches that could be winnable. You know, let's say Luton there, 24th. Stoke at 3rd. That's gonna be a tricky one. Rotherham at 20th. Swansea at 23rd. Birmingham 18th. Sunderland at 10th. Derby. There's matches we're going to need to win, and if he's going to be able to even just unlock 1 or 2 goals, that could be really helpful. That's not helpful. That is not helpful at all. Getting a player out injured now for 5 weeks. An accidental collision. Sean Rooney's picked up a cold. That's right, it's 10 days till the Blackburn game. That's not fun. It's just like they've turned up straight away and they're just injuring each other. Actually, let's have a quick look at this trainer, because we probably need to take some of the physical stuff out, maybe, and do stuff like team bonding, maybe do a bit of that. Because if they're all getting physical, they're just going to get knackered, aren't they? Maybe we do set pieces, attacking corners possibly. Change that to defending corners. And again, we'll do set pieces, attacking corners. Yeah, we'll look at that. That might work in theory. So here's where we're going to be right now. So Rooney's probably going to be back, I think. Mungo's obviously off the bench now. Montel might just be back in time. To be fair, that putting Morgan in there as the enganche wasn't the worst. I guess looking at the final result, everything just sort of stays as is, really, don't we? We just sort of keep the shape, keep everything. Nothing changes, you know. I think I mentioned my Bayern Munich save, a Dortmund save a while back. I finally won the Champions League. Well done, Rich. Well done. Congratulations, man. That's awesome work. I've actually played, get this, I've played my first ever Champions League game. That's a qualifier in the in FM22 this week. Genuinely, I've had two Champions League qualifying matches in the odds save in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, come and join the Discord, by the way, as well. It's a cool place to hang out. We've got some lovely people in there. We've got a one season wonder, but it's a longer season wonder challenge this time, where we're going to try and win all the three major leagues in Scandinavia. So Norway, Sweden and Denmark, in that order as well. Start the save with odd in Norway. If you can win the league with odd, brilliant. If not, go and win it with a different league, a different club, sorry. Then go and manage in Sweden, win the league in Sweden. Then go manage the league in Denmark, win the league in Denmark. Now, I won the Eliteserien with odds in the second season, so I was well happy with that. And of course, that means I've got some Champions League qualifiers to do. While I'm doing them, I'm still trying to find a job in Sweden. I know some people have just resigned and went fast and sort of like holidayed until the Swedish jobs come up. I decided to do the other option of continue playing. Not sure it's the right idea, to be honest, or the best idea, or even the worst idea. But yeah, we did keep going, and I'm at the point where I'm like, there's a job available. It's not the best job in Sweden. There's a job available, job at Hacken. Djurgården keeps flipping between very insecure, and secure. So I don't think it's going to come up. That's the one that I really need in order to help trying to win the league in Sweden. But I don't know whether to just go and try and take over at Hacken and actually get, you know, Carlos Vinicius, or different Vinicius, isn't it? I don't know whether to just try and go to Sweden and just get me foot in the door, because obviously the longer I'm at odds, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I've already won the league, so it doesn't really matter what goes on at this point now. But I'm also conscious that the longer I'm out of management, then, you know, any good faith or, you know, whatever that I've built up has obviously gone. So my reputation will be shrinking. So thinking if I just keep going, then at least there's something there. But I don't know. A move to Hacken, maybe that could be a good idea. I don't know. Or do we hold fire and try and get the Djurgården job? I have been linked with the Tottenham job at this point, so I'm fairly confident I could get it. But yeah, I don't know. Can't make that decision. Plus, I've also got to try and finish off my Villa rebuild as well. So a few bits and pieces to try and do, which towards the end of the game cycle, I've still got quite a bit left. So yeah, I think we do as we did in the last match, to be honest. Stick with what we've got. I think it worked. It absolutely worked. There's no doubt about it. MJ Williams is back. That's good. Is Harry Kane still at Spurs in this game right now? Maybe. Possibly. Just had my third promotion in 2 years from the Conference South. Well done. You're grinding right at the end. No, he's at PSG. Of course he is. 34-year-old Harry Kane has gone to PSG. Well, he went before he was 34. But okay, let's keep it then. We're going to go with the same side. Okay. Sergio Montel is on the bench. he's going to pass a late fitness test. And this is the time to bring him on in a derby. Away to the league leaders. This is the moment for him to shine. Or for the moment to him to go, this is not for me, and duck out. But who knows? Who knows? I mean, Blackburn are flying. Absolutely flying. Anything from this match would be acceptable. Most fun you've had an FM in a long time. Good. I like that. I like the fact that people are still enjoying the game. You should enjoy the game. It just needs to be fun. Like, people take FM too seriously, particularly if they're making content or if they're, in draft comps. People take the game too seriously. Oh, hang on, here's Kenny. Oh. Like, it's just a game of fun at the end of the day. Like, you shouldn't get stressed by it. Says a man who clearly gets stressed by this game. It's good performance so far. And Morgan's doing well in that engage role. Kenny's starting to find his feet a bit. Alright, building from the back. Is this going to go to us? It is. Josh Doyle's on his way up forward. Don't give the ball away like that. FM is escapism. Exactly. Okay, now this is worrying though. Blackburn look dangerous on the attack. Good save by Peacock Farrell. Oof, well held. That's better. Okay, very good first half. Very good first half indeed. I don't know if there's anything we change at this point. Just trying to look to see if there's any players who are starting to tire that we need to keep our eyes on. Maybe keep our eyes on Sean Rooney. Maybe keep our eyes on Dembele, Dempsey, which is quite handy because we've got Montel. And maybe a little bit of an injection of pace up front as well, if as the gambler lads say, when the fun stops. If you're getting frustrated, take a break. Oh, 100%, Rich. Like I did when we went on holiday. I was like, oh, I'll take the laptop and I'll do some work. Did not open the thing at all. Like we play on a rig for streaming, but did not open the laptop at all, and it was great. I'm not 100% sure that what I'm about to do is a good idea, but let's chance it, right? Bring Winterloff for Welsh. Wonder how I would have got through lockdowns for me and shielding without FM. Oh mate, like I think there's so many people have said that FM has been the perfect thing for them during the pandemic, and I think Miles himself has been very open about it. So many people in the community have talked openly about mental health struggles and using FM as escapism. I mean, hey, some of us have made a podcast about it. Oh, he's off. They're down to 10. Nico Williams is gone. We've got the ball down the wing here. Doyle, Kenny, Hyam. Get the ball back. There, that'll do. Don't cause any troubles. Lenton, of course, former Blackburn player. Rooney, Morgan, just don't do anything silly. Got a feeling they're going to pressure us into a mistake here. Oh, there's a ball through. Kenny's at the post. Oh. Right, at what point do we just put our foot on the ball? Probably now, isn't it? Go disciplined. Go a bit tighter. Regroup at this point. Hold shape. We don't want to be doing too much too silly. You know what? We'll take that. We'll take a draw. We'll take a draw against the league leaders. Right. Local derby as well. 0-0 away from home. Can you do it away at Ewood Park? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We're 4 points clear of Swansea. Montel's made his debut. That's what we're talking about. So yeah, we obviously now have to. Who's up next? Glenn Foster. He looks decent, doesn't he? He looks very handy. Who's next? Who's next? Luton. It's the big game. Luton. 7 days to go. We're playing bottom of the league. FM would have us lose this. If FM had any choice, we'd be losing this game. Right? I don't want to lose this game. I know I've just said before that FM is just, a bit of escapism and it shouldn't be taken too seriously. But I'm now sat going, don't want to lose against Luton. Don't want to lose against Luton. They're using a system which theoretically we should be fine against. Like the 4-4-2 should be fine against that. I think there's going to be bodies in the midfield. But I think because we've got someone slightly off centre. Night, Bob. Night. Pleasure to have you in, my man. We'll shout you out again for being here. But yeah, appreciate as well for you setting up the TGFM versus the community Discord. So again, we'll remind people of that. Do drop Cosy Bob a follow, everyone. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being. And of course as well, appreciate the raid as well. Very kind. Very kind. How many people buy FM23? I mean, we've already butchered the link, Rich. But yeah, if you want to buy FM23, I've got a link right here, which I would recommend that you buy through. Here's a Sega affiliate, so it's an official link. It's not Johnny Shonky link. I think a lot of people buy FM23. I think people sometimes will do one on, one off. I think obviously for ourselves as streamers and creators, I think it's imperative to buy the next one. So I'll still be doing that. Did my camera just freeze for a second? I think it felt like it did. But yeah, we'll definitely be buying the next one. It looks quite good, doesn't it? Like I love the idea of it so far. So obviously they've not said a great deal about it, but UEFA licenses is a pretty big deal. Obviously, depending upon what else that means. Some people are saying about they've got the Champions League music on. You know what? Part of me thinks if they've got the Champions League music, that's class. Like I don't know. There's just like the part of I think the match day presentation could always do. And I was chatting about this with Work the Space last night because we did the podcast. FMT is going to be with Work the Space on Tuesday, and we were talking about things that we'd like to see improved in Football Manager, and we mentioned the match day experience being one of them, and he was saying things like that if the presentation improves, then the experience itself overall improves. Like because he was obviously comparing it to F1 Manager, which I have downloaded now. I haven't actually started playing it properly, so we'll have a little look. We might play that one night. That could be quite good fun. But yeah, like I think he was sort of saying that because of something like F1 Manager, it forces Football Manager to sort of look at itself a little bit more and be like, we should probably push this a little bit more as well. So yeah, who knows? I mean, whether the music's there, like, it's not going to make much difference. But it's just that little thing of like, it's just a nice little add-on. Like it doesn't change anything at all. Even having the licenses in, it doesn't change anything. Like, if you want them to slowly start upgrading the graphics, the match engine looks old now. Yeah, you're probably right, Callum. You're right. Graphics do need a bit of an overhaul as well, especially when you look at some of the games that are coming out now that are running on relatively low-end PCs. And I think that they pride themselves on the fact that FM runs on a potato, essentially. But again, there's that argument to say, like, maybe just some people obviously just have to upgrade their kit. I don't know what the right answer is. To be fair, I was getting the music on YouTube just before the Champions League anyway. It's the right way to do it, Dan. It's the right way to do it. Log file, my FM's broken. I think Bayern's not dominating the Bundesliga. Really? Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're doing it on our game. To be honest, we've not been anywhere near the Bundesliga at this point, but right, 0-0 against Luton still. I think our formations are basically negating each other. So how much before we put Reece Morgan up top? 0-0. Right, it's time for Sergio to come on. Make him an AP, see if that'll change things up. Possibly we'll have to move on as well. Oh no, here we go. This is bad. This is bad. This feels like a goal coming. Oof. DLF, yeah. Get a bide with me before the FM Cup. FA Cup final. Imagine though, could you imagine it, man? Oof, Josh Doyle off the line. Thing is though, you'd have sort of like some people being like, oh, I want to have the ability to write a new cup final song, and that's not really what it's all about, is it? It's not what it's about. Evening Beyond Ultra, how are you? Welcome back in, hope you're well. What's new? Bolton Wanderers is new. That's what's new. Hope life's treating you good. It's a 0-0 again. It's a scrappy 0-0 as well, isn't it? It's not the best result. I mean, look. It's another clean sheet. That's what we need to think about. It's another clean sheet. There's no reason FM couldn't do a free high quality graphics pack for those who don't use a potato. That's not a bad shout, actually. That's not a bad shout. I have a new low end laptop I can't afford to replace. I had to buy this one to play FM on, says Richard. Yeah. Again, I mean, look, this is where we are. You know, we had to buy a brand new PC just to stream, because it turns out that you can't stream off a MacBook Pro. I can barely play the game on a MacBook Pro now, to be honest, but not as bad as when it was. Oh shit! Just smashed that. FM15 was the worst. FM15 was awful on a MacBook Pro. It sounded like, and it sounds like a jet engine anyway, but it was so slow. Beyond Ultra, great, thank you. Quite surprised about RDF in the playoffs. Well, this is the thing, though. This is the thing. I think Sai's in the chat still. Sai called it. The tacticians, they can sometimes come unstuck in these competitions, because they do overthink things, or can overthink things, and it's always tricky. Like you've got your ideas, you've got your tactics, but you're reacting almost too much. So yeah, Sai says there. Yeah, Sai. Yeah, RDF tried 5 formations in one game. You can't do that. That doesn't work. There's a reason that you lose matches if you do things like that. So look, we all love RDF. We all know that RDF's a tactical mastermind. Same with Stinger. We know that these guys know the games inside out, but sometimes you just turn up and just press continue and just let it play out. No, there's no rhyme or reason as to why it works, but sometimes it's just like that. Football Manager has this way of doing things where it goes, no, you know what? Maybe this is the team that'll win today, and you can do it 1,000 times, You can do 1,000 times and you'll lose 9,900, 999 times, but there'll be one time, and that's the important time. That's the one that you win, and that's the one that matters. And I think there's probably a couple of those that happened over the week for the playoffs, and sadly for RDF, yeah, he missed out. But he'll be back. He'll be back. We know he'll be back, and also he'll do well. We know he'll be back, and he'll do well when he comes back. So it's one of those. I think the big shout outs need to go to AJ for smashing the group stages, absolutely destroyed. He was unstoppable. I think shout out to A Few Miles Away for making his debut and being super cool and super suave and having a great time with a wild out there first pick. I think with Luis Alberto. I mean, he's a great pick. Don't get me wrong, but pick number one, interesting, very, very close to qualifying as well. And then McKinn's just did enough when he had to. Again, having to get through RDF, who sat there with like this 10-man defense. As Sai says, A Few Miles Away beats RDF. And then, of course, you've also got Abby Wickdiv, who just waltzed her way through. She was looking great. Brilliant performances. I think they sort of felt as though they were maybe going a bit under the radar, which was perfect for them. Everyone's attention was elsewhere, which meant that just, get stuff done, not a problem. Might move Kenny back into the centre, actually, because I know he's slightly off centre, but he's not getting much of the ball. We're not creating many chances, especially if we're going to keep Morgan there as the engage. Rich, things that improve on FM, 3 points. 1 scout reports on a position or just a list. Need prioritisation of weaknesses and strengths. Good point. In match, often no highlights because the AI is tick attacker or launched behind the lines. AM should observe more what opposition is doing as feedback. Yeah, that works. But again, it depends on how that's coded and how much the game understands what's going on. But yes, I agree. That point makes complete sense. Feedback from staff: player potential needs to improve. I have a player for 193. No one communicated to me how good he is. The star ratings are vague. Great player of his generation. Top quality staff don't tell me. Yeah. I mean, you make great points. You make very great points. I can't disagree with them. I think they're spot on. Yeah, they're 100% spot on. You've hit the nail on the head. And there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that need tweaking, and a lot of things that will tweak. So we look forward to seeing how it all works out. What grinds my gears when people ask for director of football and chairman mode. Yeah, I don't know how many people are serious about that, but yes, you're right. It is a bit frustrating. I'll joke on I would like to build a stadium mode, but it's never going to happen, and it's never a thing that needs to be even considered. But that's only because I like to see the visuals here of it changing. If I'm playing as a small club, I want to see the development visibly. And it does happen. I know it does. But some of the stadium templates need updating. But again, that's because they're making it run on low-end computers. So I'm not saying I need a stadium creator. Of course I don't. But I do like to see the development high and with an effort there. Scouting presets. Yeah, that's not a bad shout, Callum. I just think there's the thing is that there's a lot we love about the game. And there's a few things that we put up with. There's a few things that I think we obviously would need to change dramatically, but they'll all get there. They'll all get there in the end. Some things obviously aren't a priority in terms of producing a game, because they just need to get the game out, and it doesn't really change the overall experience for the vast majority of players. And again, they've got an issue because they're making a game that's suitable for people who are just turning up, playing for the first ever time. The casual gamer who just wants to dip in and play 5 seasons at one of the top clubs, and then the hardcore gamers. So they've got to make a game that's suitable for all those people, and that must be a hell of a challenge, absolutely hell of a challenge. Like, how do you satisfy all those people at once? It's like WWE. You know, you're making a show for children and kids, but you need the adults to be there because they're the ones who are paying for the tickets and they're the ones who are going to buy all the merchandise. It's weird, isn't it? How do you do that? Maybe used to play all the Soccer Manager games like that. They had features like building a stadium, was charged on the concession stands. There was all that stuff, yeah. And I've played loads of different incarnations of management games, but you know, ones where you could bung the ref and stuff like that. Like no one wants that. Of course they don't, you know. But yeah, I think it's just because people like seeing it. I think if people get a stadium named after themselves, I think they want to have a little bit of say in what it looks like. But end of the day, it doesn't really make a difference to how the game plays. I'd rather have a set piece creator personally. Wintle with a corner, just missed a good chance there. We're obviously goal down against Redden, which will probably do our relegation chances bit of an issue. Try and put some crosses in, see if that works. Gotts out to Doyle. Doyle's not been too bad since he's come on as left wing back. Morgan, Kenny, Dempsey, Kenny, Rooney. We're going to put the ball in. Morgan, Kenny turns it over the top. A lot of player interactions that make sense and how a human would behave. Oh, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'd like praise to work. You know, don't give me a praise shower if it doesn't work. Every time a praise plays, they just kick off. I'm like, right, fine, no praise for you then. Okay, let's move him back there. Is he getting involved? He probably is getting involved, isn't he? Yeah, he probably is getting involved. I'm not starting to second guess myself at this point as to what's working and what's not working. Dembele is playing well. Want to attack duty, see if you can get forward a little bit more. What have you got there? Yeah, don't know what to shout at 1-0 up. Yeah, like, I get that. It just doesn't work, does it? It just doesn't work. Because no matter what you touch, the game just breaks on you. It's crazy. Wouldn't mind a second where clubs could change, like Red Bull could buy more clubs and names change. Yeah, I guess there's also that thing with licenses as well, as to how you do it. It's tricky, I suppose, to sort of get that to happen. Red Bull Blackpool. God. Pretty Blue Spark Blackpool, wouldn't it? Tesco Blue Spark Blackpool. I think the interesting thing and the difficult thing is that, you know, you've got to try and I get, yeah, for me the difficult thing is you've got to try and please too many people at once, and that's, you know, how do you make that happen? It's just, you know, some people want better face packs. You know, new gen faces need to look better. For them, for some people, that's a thing. Like, you know what I mean? They want that. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered about the names of the European competitions, because I manage in the lower leagues. I never get to the European competitions. Like, but I know some people love that. You know, Man UFC in the game is an issue for some people. Zebra is an issue for some people. You know, it's just get in, Nixon, goal, equaliser. Yeah, for me, like, I would like a narrative mode rather than an achievement mode, which I think is kind of what we're doing right now, isn't it? Yeah, I like the idea. I like versus mode. I think that's a cool thing they've brought through. So maybe develop that a little bit more next year. Make some more sort of possibilities. So yeah, there's definitely stuff. They can do. Like, you know, maybe some of the camera angles could be slightly better as well. You know, like an actual real life changing of the camera. So you know, again, Jack was saying last night, you know, you have a corner, the camera cuts to the corner. You know. Oh, Doyle's through. Heads away. There we go, we've got the ball back. Nixon into Kenny. Kenny comes forward. Pulls it back. Oh, narrative mode unlocked. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Conversation needs to be more fleshed out, depending on the personality. If you're playing a certain player and they're a good personality, then they're less likely to complain or more likely to complain. And react better at the same things if you work hard or reconsider the bit. Yeah, like the whole thing about player interactions, yeah, it needs a lot of work. But then at that point, like, you're almost getting into the Sims, aren't you? Like, but you would argue that's a big thing in football management, is the man management side of it, or the player management side of it. So you're right, they should make a big part of that. They should make a big part of that. Come on then, boys, keep the ball. Don't do anything silly. We're 2-1 up. We've managed to get ourselves a victory. There we go. Omega Luke found a narrative generator. Did he? Oh, the little sort of the link thing where you can, if you're struggling for a save, you just click the thing and it randomizes it round. Could be, yeah. I feel like someone who's professional should make a big fuss when they're not playing much. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, they should be able to sort of like understand stuff. That would make sense. I think there's a few bits and pieces as well where, like, if you've got, you know, players who are complaining they're not playing, and they are, or they're injured, like, you know, that sort of thing is always worth looking out for. So, Jordan Brown on loan from Chelsea. Look at this guy. He could be handy. He could be handy. About to get battered by a newly promoted League Two club in a weird non-League Cup Super Cup between the winners of the FA Trophy and the FA Vase. The pitching in Super Cup. I love the sound of that. Love the sound of that. I also think the agreed game time needs fixing. Yeah, but I think some things are just a little bit too knee-jerk in the game, aren't they? And we're 4 points clear of Rotherham at this point, so we're still just about hanging in there. At the minute, we're still not on here yet. Peterborough job's coming up. There we go. Liverpool will win the Carabao Cup. Who cares? I appreciate you guys hanging out on a Saturday night with me, by the way. We don't normally stream on a Saturday, so it's always interesting to see who's about and who's not about. Hang on, he's already kicking off that James Shaw's not playing. Like, we're talking about agreed game time, right? He's been here, what, a matter of weeks? If that. Bolton's new stadium's coming along well. Oof. We're getting a new stadium, are we? Did not know about this. Did not check. Where is it? Due to move into a 24,000 capacity Nat Loft House Arena. Oh, we're looking forward to it. We are looking forward to it. We don't normally stream on a Saturday either. Yeah, it's not. To be fair, Richard, it was one of those ones I never even thought about streaming on a Saturday. I was like, let's just sort of leave it off. I know Sundays I like streaming on Sunday. But yeah, this has been quite fun. P-Burn violently hungover. This is my Saturday night remedy. I like it. I didn't expect like this year, but I would like to see it fleshed out a bit more. Yeah, that's true. Who asked about what the best my favourite version was? Someone was in the chat asking what my favourite version is. For me, if we're being completely honest, my favourite one is Champman Italia. That's my absolute favourite. FM10's got a huge place in my heart, obviously for the Blythe Spartans save. Stoke away, and James Shaw is not getting a game just yet, and Wolves are hating it. He's played once. He's been here. How long has he been here? When did he come? He turned up in January. He's been there like a few weeks. Like, come on, don't kick off too much. We're winning football matches at this point. Sunday nights is NFL. That's it. That's it. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. You know what? I'm just going to ignore all these people kicking off about loan agreements, because it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like, look, we'll play who we play. Worst FM15. FM15 is the worst one. Only because of how slow it was. Like, because the problem is I could see that it looked like it was going to be good, but it was just unplayable. And I think even SI after a while admitted it. It's like, yeah, this is not good. 49ers Seahawks. Ooh, that would be fun. That would be fun. The match changing in FM20. Yeah. There's some people here that, like, for me, match engine was alright. It is like turn it down into the 2D if the match engine's gonna struggle, but it was okay. It was okay. Like, I wasn't against it. It got me into creating content, so I guess I can't be too angry with it. Okay, so we're up against Stoke. Let's see what we can do. We've got James Shaw on the bench. I'm sure that'll roughly appease the Wolves manager. To be fair, our fans weren't particularly keen on him coming anyway, so if he ends up going, then he ends up going. But it'd be a shame to have his loan spell taken away like that. Poor lad, he's just turned up trying to do his own thing. He's just trying to play football. You know, it's my fault that he's not. It's all my fault. All my fault. Okay, crosses in, great save, and it's away again. Oh, double saves from Bailey Peacock Farrell. Best FM save. I mean, it has to be the Spartans one, doesn't it? It has to be the Spartans. FM10, Blythe Spartans became Football Manager Ruined My Life. Sort of the reason that we're all here, essentially. If it wasn't for that, then, you know, there's no Football Manager therapy, there's no TJFM, there's no streaming on Discord and Twitch, and yeah, none of it happens. So yeah, so I'd say that one. Oh, terrible ball. Oof. Yeah, ping a few of them in, Dan. Yeah, that's totally fine. I do think we hear something Tuesday onwards regarding features. Okay. Tuesday could be interesting. Peterborough was class. Yeah, Peterborough was good fun. I suppose that's it. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. It was that thing of, it was the first stream as well, wasn't it? So we had to obviously build our narrative as we were going through. So that definitely meant that we were definitely going to stream this year because of those good moments. I'm not even really angry about that. That's just one of those things. I don't quite understand how this happens here, but I feel they were ready to post it. Maybe best FM for me in time context, FM 14. That's a good shout. Actually. Like, for me, FM 10 just didn't have everything, so there was enough in there to sort of, like, for your casual gamers, there was enough in there for your hardcore gamers, but it also wasn't like this, which is like this, just so much going on. For me, there's still like here, I think there's still a little bit. I'm just like, I'm a bit overwhelmed with some of this stuff here, and that's just how it is. Like, and I get it, but yeah, for me, there's still some moments I just look at it, I go, I just don't no idea how I'm supposed to understand this. Right, Shaw's on. Let's see if he makes any difference, shall we? We've moved Welsh out to right back. There's Wintle holding up against Valbivile, and it's Trevor Ferdinand. It's 2-0, and I think it's Shaw who's not actually picking him up. Perfect. Is it Shaw? Is this Shaw here? Yeah, this is him. This is Shaw. So yeah, it's probably Shaw's fault. FM 2004 and FM 2008. Ooh, okay. I guess that's the thing. Like, everyone's got their own. Oh, Dembele's injured. Everyone has their own perfect version. You know, there's always going to be a version that's just right. And yeah, as I say, like for me, we can go all the way back. Champman Italia was just spot on, absolutely spot on. Baxter launches it forward, heads away. Welsh is going to hold him up, is he? Oh, yeah. Just not happening now. 3-0 down against Stoke. They go into 5th position. They're solidifying their playoff spot. Wintel's not having a good game, is he? Is it Wintel who's getting caught? We've had to go 4-2-3-1. That's how bad it's getting at this point. Championship Manager 4 was mind-blowing at the time. Yeah. I guess when it went from text to dots, that was pretty big as well. Nixon, lovely goal. Chapman did the European add-on packs. Oh, did you ever have the Benelux one, Raggio? That was very, very few people had it. It was the France one. There was Spain, Italy, and there was Benelux, which was Holland and Belgium. Ironically, didn't have Luxembourg in, but if you've still got the Benelux one, that must be worth a fortune. Oh, 4-1, cut apart, torn apart here. Terrible. I mean, they're having our lives on this wing. Wintel, good ball in. There's Nixon again. 4-2. That's fine. Best one was FM 11 Sunderland for one reason. I got a new gen. A new gen will have been a new gen back in FM 11 as well. Ryan O'Brien never checked his PA. Hit 200. Or he even looked like Roy of the Rovers with long flowing hair. Oh, beautiful. Oh, if you've still got a screenshot, stick that in the Discord. That'd be great. Love the Dutch league because the cup with the group stage at the start was mental. Yeah, makes no sense, does it? Then the Belgian league as well, where it's like half of the league just gets split and you end up in the relegation zones. And you're like, what? So oh yeah, we just start again. Like, no, that's not a thing. Great save. 4-2. Look, the stats wise, we've not. The stats are not showing that this was us getting battered, but we've not played well. We've been unlucky as well. Well, here comes Nixon. Please don't tell me that we play well in a 4-2-3-1. I would hate it if that's the situation. Oh, Morgan. FM 19 took Rotherham to the FA Cup in 5 seasons. Troy Parrott, I love you. Love that. Scenes. But yeah, I think Raja was right. The Peterborough save, I should have said Posh straight away, shouldn't I? The impossible dream. So much happened in that save that I think had we done it at home on our own, would it have been as much fun? Would we have ended up at Azerbaijan? Probably not. So many moments. So would we escape in relegation? Last day of the season. Just, yeah, beautiful. Going back to Posh as well, after being away for 2 seasons, coming back, picking them out of the relegation zones, and then getting promoted to the Premier League the next year. Makes no sense whatsoever. Absolutely no sense whatsoever. Still don't get how we did that. I still don't get how that side was in the relegation zone. We didn't add too much to it. And then the following season, we won the title, didn't we? We just strolled that league. So good. So good. Narrative in Peel was insane. The last day relegation save was epic. Yeah. Yeah, we did quite a lot of fun with that. That was good. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think the posh save has to go up as something quite interesting. Hence why we got the posh shirt. You know what I mean? Like we don't just buy a shirt for a save that doesn't really mean anything. So yeah, I guess that probably does mean something. I don't think we buy a shirt for FM22 just yet because not really had a team that we've been at long enough, to be honest. Indonesia would have been the one, but it didn't quite work out somehow. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he got the print. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Hydrating, exactly. Right, Dembele. Nixon was excellent. But Nixon also played there. I hate the fact we're going to have to go 4-3-2-1. I hate it. I just hate 4-3-2-1 as a shape. Right. Come on then. Let's go for it. If it gets us something, if it gets us a point, then fine, but get an improvement. Away to Middlesbrough. These games are coming thick and fast. There's not a lot of time now between these sorts of matches and the end of the season. Nixon floats the ball and no one's around there to get the ball on the end of it. Here's Wintle, turns it back in. He's now out of position, which doesn't really help us. As Limmy says, but at what cost? There is that. Good ball. That's the goal. That's 1-0. Oof. Should have been 1-0. 3 points ahead of Shrewsbury. Swansea and Coventry in the mix as well. Rotherham still in the mix. Luton probably just about at Raoul. Of course, we were joking about you earlier on, mate. We took a Romanian striker on loan. And a few people were like, oh, we haven't seen Raoul for a while. And then, of course, here you are. I'll be honest with you, though, mate. We didn't offer him a contract. It was rubbish. He was terrible. He's gone. Good ball. Here's Hyam. Oh, he's got to hit the target. Nice bit of football, but up over the top. Bit of encouragement. What's the other scores looking like? Almost got the ball back. We've missed it though. They're getting the ball. They're getting a lot more of it. We've got a corner though. Wintle heads away. Not quite quick enough there, are we? Here's Rooney. Nixon. Rooney inside. Great ball for Kenny. Oh, Johnny Kenny's got to finish it. Got to finish that. Yeah, try to come and say hi. Still sick, recovering, repairing the whole apartment. Hell of a job. Also saw my team draw 2-2. Nice. Waiting to see us score and get a point. Well, welcome to the stream. We're doing very, very similar, to be honest. Scoring and getting points is going to be things that some people's grandchildren will talk about. Yeah, we've had a bit of a turnover, and it's been a test. It's been a test, which is which is exactly what we want around here. Oh, Keke with the header. We've held them out for 40 minutes. Do we push them inside rather than keep them out on the wings? Because when the balls are coming in, we're not winning those headers, are we? I think we have to move. Yeah, we have to try and force them inside, don't we? And again, maybe if we're still playing on work the ball in the box, then we have to go for crosses ourselves. Although when we knock the ball around, it looks quite nice, to be honest. We can play some decent football. It's just the end product just doesn't quite get there. And with not many games to go, it needs to start getting there. Save itself's going well though, Raul, to be honest. You can pass into space or work with box to box, counter-productive when applied together. I've butchered that, sorry, Blaster. Yes, it does. It works quite nicely. It also works with higher expression. Oh, with higher expression as well. If you pass the ball into space, but you need players who can, obviously, with good vision, good creativity. 4-4-2 counter attack. Well, this is roughly what we've been playing, Raul, but it's just not quite getting there. But it's fine. You know, we're learning as we go through. We've ended up on a 4-3-2-1 at this point, which is not. I mean, people know me. It's not what I want to play. It's not what I want to play. But we will try. We'll try everything at this point to try and get the results back in. Losing on a 4-3-2-3-1. I know. Who'd have thought? All vanilla formations there. Nice ball back inside. Williams out to Rooney. This is better football. Nixon cuts it back. Hyam. There you go. We've pulled one back. I know, Raul. It's awful. It's horrible to watch. I feel dirty. Gegenpress was the meta. Yeah, we're not using Gegenpress. It's just shit. Gegenpress is just boring to watch. So yeah, we'll turn it off. We can counter press, but we're not Gegenpressing. Here's Kenny. Inside Hyam. Doyle. Oh, to be fair, I never use a 4-2-3-1. Never use it. It's I just don't like the shape. I just think it's for me. I miss too much in the midfield. But you know, I can see why it works. But like for me, I'm just like I'm not really fussed on it. Sticking with a Roman playmaker, see how that works out. Go positive and then encourage because we need to try and get a goal back. Otherwise, we're being sucked back into this relegation battle. 4-1-3-2, yeah, 4-1-3-2 is decent. We've got a 4-1-3-2 formation, which didn't work for us, but we could still look to build for next season. Oh, Nixon's off the bar. Close, so close. Should have been a moment. Should have done better there. Yes, Mad Scientist. Welcome. Hope you're well. Pleasure to see you as always, my man. Drop the Mad Scientist to follow everyone if you haven't already done so. He's been playing sensible world of soccer, for God's sake. What a guy. You know, Amiga 500 games. That's what it's all about. I'm very well, thank you, buddy. Very happy indeed. We're having a bit of a up and down stream, which is fine. It's all right. It's not a problem. We're going to get into a relegation battle. Fine, not a problem. But yeah, life's good. Life is good. Certainly can't complain. You know, so how was yours? How was the stream tonight? Alexander Gabriel, again, another Chelsea player that apparently we shouldn't be looking at signing. I don't get that. I don't get that. Why would you not look to sign him? Sensible Soccer was amazing. It was the best game. I loved it. We have been here before. We've absolutely been here before with relegation. It's what we do around here, right? 2, 4, 6 games to go. We're not quite going to get the thing done tonight, or are we? Is that half an hour till midnight? We could maybe get it done, couldn't we? Possible sacking next stream as well. This is the content we come for. It's exactly it, actually. It is exactly it, yeah. The content I originally followed. We all did that. We all do it. You know, come for the relegation battle, stay for the sacking. Oh, sensible of soccer is not difficult. You just have to take the ball to the corner of the halfway line and just shoot it on an angle. Used to always go in. Adrian Kalantari. He looks decent. He looks very expensive. Bolton Power Shift. Well, I don't know. Let's see what happens when it's our players. We've got our players in the club. I mean, this guy, for example, he could maybe come. He could maybe come. Passing 16, vision 17, determination 16, price a pittance. Jose Mourinho not a real manager until he'd been sacked. Exactly. Embrace the sack. Don't fear it. Embrace it. There's no ball sticking to feet and swaths. Yeah. Oh, that was good. Yeah. It's literally sort of turned, didn't you? Brilliant. That separated people who were just like, oh, I play sensible in soccer. Like, do you? No, you don't, do you? It made it so much better. So much better. Okay, we're up against Rotherham. We're talking about must-win games. Okay? This is a must-win game. We've got to win this one. Okay, club atmosphere is good. Nice. Where's our let's do team bonding first. Get them all happy. Play Lonsdale at Solihull Moors. Why did he not show up before? He's 5'8". He's not very quick, although Watford want him. Interesting. Where are we in our Bolton save? We are currently just outside of the relegation spots, which for me is good enough. Absolutely good enough. We'll show you in 2 seconds, just when I come through these little bits of screens. Freddie just ham. Just ham. What's in your sandwich, Freddie? Just ham. We need to sign him and call him the sandwich. Yeah, we'll pull this up and you can have a quick look and see the league. Obviously, some of these players are sort of being brought because we've started to scout all the national teams as well. So the under-21s really. Anyone who looks half decent will sort of stick on a shortlist. So yeah, here's we are, 19th in the Sky Bet Championship. We've got, as we say there, 2, 4, 6, 7 games to go, right? With 3 points clear. We're playing Rotherham now. We also have to play Swansea, who are 20th. So that's another team in the relegation zone. Birmingham were 16th, Palace were 10th, Sunderland 9th, Derby 15th, and Ipswich was 6th. So it's quite tricky, I think. Quite tricky. So 14 grand release clause. Yeah, pay it. 14 grand, get him in. He's not interested in discussing it. Mate, you play for Linfield. You could be playing at Bolton. I don't know. Players with pride and working with their contract. Well, disgust me. You disgust me. Right. Get this win against Rotherham. That's what we need to do. Get a win against Rotherham. Because if we don't, then it's like the squeakiest of bum times. He looks good, doesn't he? Quinn. Literally just a quick eyeball at these guys as well. Because I think we're obviously going to keep scouting them as we go through. So, all right, 7 matches to go. I don't think we'll get it finished tonight, which means we'll finish it tomorrow night. But also means that we're in a really interesting situation tomorrow where we will be going, oh God, we might be getting sacked. We're not going to get sacked. I wouldn't imagine we will be anyway. We were brought in to avoid relegation. That's what we were brought in to avoid doing. I'm going to give Sober Thomas another chance to redeem himself. Okay? It has to be done. Mungo's coming back in. Welshie's in there. Okay, Wintel's in. 11. What's MJ got for heading? 10. Not actually as good. You're the man for this job. Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Like this is my forte right now. Like, what's that? Relegation? Yes, please. Let's a relegation battle. I'm in. I'm here. Like, I'm 100% the guy to bring in this situation. So we should be fine. We should be fine. Yeah. And if we're not fine, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just a game. It's just a game. We can always pretend we scored. Yeah. Yeah. Can do that. We could do that. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, off the post. Morgan. Thomas. Penalty? No, apparently not. Dive. I'm watching a podcast, Ben Foster, as he was talking about why he rejected an offer from Newcastle's backup goalkeeper after the Darlow injury. His reason for rejecting was really interesting. Okay. Hyams put it wide. How's he put it wide from there? He's offside anyway, that's probably why. Spent 10 minutes cleaning ancient photo bucket, etc. before they tried to charge me. I shared the Ryan O'Brien man on Discord. Lovely. Excellent. We'll have a quick look in there then. Creating chances, but not putting them away. This could come back to haunt us. Particularly with their free kick, or their goal kick, I should say, sorry, straight through. What? Like, I mean, the sea just parted. Who's missed the header? Thomas. Fucking Thomas. What's he doing? He's a right midfielder. It's going to be the death of me, this boy. Right, he's off. Okay, he's gone. Never to be seen again. Yeah, no worries, Rich. Pleasure to have you in, man. We'll see you. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. If not, we'll see you at some point next week, I'm guessing. But yeah, have a great rest of the weekend. Gives the ball away. Oh, hang on. Morgan's got it back now. That's good. Hyam's got it back. Williams got Hyam. Morgan. Kenny back to Morgan. Yes. Hurst Davison been on the pitch less than a minute. I wonder, will we have a new season of Ted Lasso this year? I think so. I think they're recording it already, aren't they? I'm sure it's already been. They're currently filming it. So yeah, I'd imagine it'll be out before Christmas. Because, you know, you can write a Christmas special at that point, can't you? Plus, it keeps winning Emmys, so they'll definitely make another one. Kenny, Morgan, Williams puts it in. Oh, Mark Hurst Davison doing Mark Hurst Davison things. Now we're talking. This is better. Great ball from Williams. Davison just puts his foot through it. I've got this, lads. I've got this. We are staying up. This is the thing, yeah. We're now in that territory, aren't we? We have to chant that. Winter with a cross in. Welsh with a header. Welshie. Now we're playing. Now we're playing football. I mean, there's still a lot of football still to be played, so we can still make it exciting for ourselves. The chance working. See what happens, Raul, when you do positive things. See, positive is a thing. Right, time for Montel to come in, I reckon. Didn't want to have to leave his family and only be able to see them once a week. He's going to be living in a hotel in Newcastle. Yeah, that seems reasonable to be honest. Fair play as well from turning it down. I know there's the thing with a loan deal is it's always an issue, isn't it? You know, there's no sort of stability to it, so you know, some people tend not to think about that sort of stuff. It's a penalty. Hurst Davison's going to take it. He's on a hat trick. Oh, he's missed it. He's missed it. It was a free transfer, was it? Oh, okay. It would have been better if he'd turned up and just went, I'm not going because their chairman are a bunch of murderers and homophobes, which, to be fair, I get the impression Ben Foster would be able to say. Huge 3 points. Huge 3 points. That's what you need. All right. 5 points clear now. Okay, 5 points clear. That's big. That's big. I mean, a bit disappointing, to be honest, that Davison didn't get his hat trick, but yeah, it's what it is, isn't it? Lived in the Midlands for a long time, was able to commute down to Watford every day. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I guess Midlands to Newcastle is just a little bit too far, isn't it? There was a lot of chat about when Villa signed like Robert Pires. He was like being driven up from London all the time, chauffeured up, I believe. And nobody really liked it. Shane Hogg, 6'1". Doesn't look too bad, does he? He could be someone for the end of the season. Matthew McKenzie, will shortlist him as well. Nathan Hosey, sign him whatever the price. I mean, we're not going to get the price because he's 33 million quid. I guess if we can bring him in on loan next year, then that'll be good. Do you have time for Swansea? We'll do Swansea. We'll do Swansea, and then that'll be it. And I think that because that's the sort of they're the big games, aren't they? And then after that, it's like these are the games we have to grind out. So if we can get it done, that'll be good fun. Ian and Flash's Racer, how are you? Welcome, first time in the chat as well. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. pleasure to have you in. You obviously joined at a very, very good time, very interesting time. We're currently trying to stay in the championship, and I think we can. What's that? 12 days to go till the. 12 days till the Swansea game. Seems going alright. It's been a journey, man. So we've sort of been all over the place, to be honest. We started at Brackley, then we had 4 years at Brackley. We got a job at York City, so we won the National League North and the National League playoffs back to back with York. Got to League Two, and then obviously we're now in the situation where we then got offered the job at Bolton, so we moved to the Premier League. Sorry, the Premier League, the Championship, I'd say, sorry. And yeah, we've got them out of the relegation zone, so the plan is to keep them out of the relegation zone. And yeah, that's what we're doing right now. So so what we're going to do is we're going to play this last match, although I can hear a child waking up, so that's may sort of like slow us down a little bit. Right, elite talents, Daryl Mayer. Doesn't look elite, does he? And Liam Barr doesn't quite look elite either. So we'll have a look for youth intake. Raju, I think you've got a youth, a new gen name you can cash in. So let us know if that will cash in tomorrow night. Obviously, if we get to the Swansea game, then that means we can get this one played out. Then we'll obviously look at what happens next. Just click through these bits because it's not massively. Percy rang up Dan Ashworth, who we knew at West Brom. At that point, the deal had been agreed, so sending his agent to say sorry, he's not coming. He rang up and told him, and Dan respected the decision. Beautiful, beautiful man. Kevin Cipriani, Owen Nolan. I like Owen Nolan. That's not a bad name, is it? Ramovich, Riston Weir, Stuart Howe, Martin Evans. I mean, there's so many players that we've obviously just ran a basic scouting test through. So last couple of days, and then we can get the Swansea game done. And by my calculations, if we win that moves us, could potentially move us could move us 8 points clear with 5 games to go. Tricky 5 games, granted. But hopefully that's enough just to see us nudge through. And then of course what we'd end up doing is we'd end up spending tomorrow night's stream finishing the season, hopefully staying up, and then looking for recruitment, which is always fun. Everyone loves the recruitment streams. So we just sit with a pen and paper and a notepad and just be like, right, we're going through it bit by bit. Where are we improving? And this Bolton squad should be fairly straightforward. We're improving everywhere because team's not good enough. Team is not good enough. We've done well enough with what we've got. I mean, there's 99 reports here to look at as well. So we have to have a look at that. We'll probably look at that first thing on tomorrow's stream. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we need to see. I think it's safe to say that we need to replace, as I say, we probably need to replace pretty much most positions. Get rid of all the old players, get some younger players in now, make it exciting, make it dynamic, have a look at a new tactic possibly. And then yeah, then we'll see what's what. I mean, we are 2028, so yeah, there'll be some names will still be about, but some names will be absolutely brand new because there'll be new gens and stuff in there. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So okay, away to Swansea. So big moment. Okay. Sharon Chan is the best young player in the game by all accounts at this point. Is there anybody that we can look at? There's a guy on loan from Everton at Blackpool. Into Miami. 18-year-old Jose Rocha. Again, I don't know if we're going to be anywhere near getting these guys, but Horst Christensen from Mulder. Norwegian defender's always a good shout. It's always a good shout. Lad at Sunderland. Let's put him on the shortlist. Right. Let's go for it. Let's just get this once again done. We don't need the next gen players. We're Bolton. We need the previous generation players. That's what we need. You know, players who used to be like have potential. Players who are now coming towards the end of their career and just need one big payday. That's the sort of players we need to be looking at. Rocco Vata. We had a quick look at him actually, and he does look like he could be someone quite handy. Decent dribbling, decent finishing, but he's not got much acceleration. He can't really jump. Imagine if Rongier would come. $33,000 a week, probably not at this point. Yeah, I don't think we've got that kind of money, but if he's willing to take a wage drop, then yeah, absolutely. Let's get him in. Okay, so away to Swansea. Let's press this. Let's press this. Okay. Hurst Davison starts. Sober Thomas out because he dropped the ball royally. Thomas out, never to be seen again. Never to be seen again. Come on then, let's take the Swans down. Okay. I've got nothing but love for Swansea, but not for this next 90 minutes. Okay. This next 90 minutes does not matter. Off the bar. Okay, let's just keep them there. Nothing too silly. Oh, great finish. Great finish. We didn't want that though. That's not what we wanted. Cal Hudlin we had obviously at York, so he's on our radar, to be honest. That's a great finish. That's a great finish. It's the Rotherham result we need to keep our eyes on, isn't it? They're currently 0-0 with Norwich, so is this your go-to tactic, or do you adapt each team? Yeah, I sort of adapt each team, to be honest. We came here with a diamond, a 4-4-2 diamond, but unfortunately it's not really worked for us. We've got better wide players. Oh, Reece Morgan's just scored. So we started to do a little bit of tweaking, but we'll have a look for next season. We might change up again. We might do maybe 3 centre backs, possibly. It depends on how we recruit, really. If we get some handy players in, then the tactical change. So We'll see. At the minute, we know we definitely need centre backs. We definitely need a full back, which I think we've already sort of recruited coming forward. If we can get a bit of steel in midfield, then that'll dictate how many players we commit forward. So yeah, it's all a bit up in the air right now as to how we're going to play next year. So 1-1 with Swansea so far. Rotherham are currently losing to Norwich, which is really helpful. So that means we're currently now 7 points clear. Crossing our fingers that this is going to be enough. Cooper plays the ball down the line though. Welsh back to Bailey Farrell. Not cleared far enough though, so it's probably going to be a goal for Swansea. This feels like 2-1. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just certain. So this is the problem. We're now 10 months into the game cycle. We see the patterns. You know what I mean? Yeah, you just know when it's coming now. Like, so a couple of things we'll have to tweak. So we'll push Hurst Davison up a smidge. Robbie Gotts is a bit frustrated. I can imagine that, but it's we're going to move him off. Sergei Montel can come in. Well, she's frustrated. So is Rooney. Let's swap around. Try that. I don't know whether the goal was offside or onside now. Yeah, that's the guy. I think people are starting to work that one out as well, aren't they? Okay. Sounds are different. It's about when the players walk as well, so. Yeah, we're already on positive now, Raoul, don't we? I have to take I think we're still on work in the box. Good ball in. Offside. I think he's offside. There you go, yeah. Offside. Get those balls in the box. Go a bit more. Maybe start to go even a bit more direct, maybe. He's just left it. Unbelievable. Let's push up. We're gonna have to push up. We might as well go for it. You know what I mean? It'd be fun if we get the Premier League before FM23. It would be, actually. That would be really fun. Really fun. It would leave us in a bit of a position like we were with Peterborough tomorrow, where it's like we didn't really have enough time to actually enjoy being in the Premier League, but we were there, so that was enough. Corners come in. Oh, why did we stay? Why did we stay for the game? We knew this was the situation. It's the FM gods look at you. They go, don't play one game, play another game. We know what's happening. Everybody knows what's happening. We were never going to win. Kenny with the penalty. Let's see, shall we? Oh, he's missed it. I can't believe he's missed it. Oh dear. I just don't know. I don't know. How was that? Like, Rotherham got a point as well. Sheffield Wednesday got beat, so that's good. Shrewsbury got beat. Luton got beat. We got beat. Coventry must have won. I don't think Coventry played. Oh, Coventry won. And Millwall won. And Swansea won. 5 clear. 5 points to go. 5 games to go, I should say, sorry. Oh. Well. This is how we do it, right? This is exactly how we do it. So there you go. 5 games. Birmingham, Crystal Palace, Sunderland, Derby, Ipswich. That happens tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. Oh, God. Oh, God. I can already feel the stress. I can already feel the stress going through this. So let's see what happens, shall we? Yeah. It's going to be what it is. It's going to be what it is. Fine. It's been fun. Thanks for obviously hanging out with us tonight. It's always fun. As I say, we're back tomorrow. And we'll finish this off in whatever fashion it ends. Hopefully positive. I'm going to go and drop a raid now, shall we? Let's go and hang out with someone. I will go and send you across to... tell you what, we've not sent you over to Foxy before. And he's on. So yeah. Go and give Foxy some love. Right? Take it easy, everyone. Tomorrow night, relegation-a-thon. Well, relegation, not a thon. We're gonna stay up. We're gonna stay up. Right. All the best, everyone. Take it easy. Speed a bit. Go and give Foxy some love.
Our front three being a bit of a menace, so they kind of like do a little bit of everything. Our front three do. So they're both good goal scorers. They're good creators.